tell a hope pepe and a yebutu Odian said Oberfre and Pennyfor was 0546960510 GTR sounds a more de angaza.
Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. It's a beautiful, brand new day, and we are here to bring you the latest headlines making waves in the news, from politics to business, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. We got you covered with the most relevant stories. As usual, I remain your host, Esina Fiagbedu, and joining me on today's headline review is Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, my ladies.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
You're doing great.
How are you faring with the Christmas? It's a Christmas. How are we faring with the Muslim holiday?
Managing.
You're managing.
We are not enjoying any holiday. We are here.
No anticipation. No
anticipation.
Party. No
Party
salad. No meat. No chicken. No food. Oh, people don't have good Muslim friends.
Oh no. I don't have any.
I received an alert yesterday.
Because of waiting.
My good Muslim friend.
Hey.
He said, "You take this one, Fajuju Akuma." All right. Let's dive straight into our headlines for today. Encroachers on Ramsar sites will be punished, Mahama. President John Dramani Mahama has vowed to take decisive action against individuals and entities that have illegally constructed buildings in unauthorized areas, including wetlands, waterlands, and Ramsar sites. Speaking at the 2025 National Eid al-Fitr celebration at the Black Star Square, President Mahama underscored the urgent need to address the growing problem of land encroachment, which has contributed to persistent flooding and environmental degradation across Ghana. In a firm declaration, President Mahama warned that all unauthorized structures obstructing waterways would be demolished without exception. He expressed concern over the reckless disregard for urban planning regulations, which he said had worsened the annual flooding crisis in many parts of Ghana. The president particularly called out individuals who collide with traditional leaders to illegally acquire and develop protected lands such as Ramsar sites. So moving on to the key highlights of the story. President Mahama has vowed to punish individuals and entities who have built on wetlands, waterways and Ramsar sites without authorization. He directly linked land encroachment to persistent flooding and environmental degradation across Ghana. Unauthorized structures in waterways and protected areas will be demolished without exception to restore urban planning order. The president criticized some chiefs and local leaders for illegally selling protected lands, enabling further encroachment. And finally, President Mahama stressed that addressing poor enforcement of planning laws is crucial to preventing future disaster. So during the celebration at the Black Star Square with regards to the Muslim celebration, President Mahama says that encroachment on Ramsar sites will be punished. So if you are found illegally building somewhere or developing your building in a vicinity which you are not supposed to do, you will be punished. What do you make of it? What are your initial thoughts on that? Do you think this has led to a flooding crisis, a persistent flooding crisis we face as a country annually?
Yes, it did. And I wouldn't blame those who build on wetlands too much. I will blame those who sells the land to them. That would be the chiefs and some of respected elders in the society. So sometimes you go to buy land from people and they do not really tell you that this environment is wet, or the place is not actually good to build on. They wouldn't tell you that because they're interested in their money. They sell it to you, and then when it begins to rain, you see all the signs. And you see sometimes when you're going to rent an apartment, I would take benches as Makati, and then benches and this Tetegu. Okay. For instance, benches like this, anytime it rains, you just go there and see for yourself. Like it becomes so flooded that it looks like a whole river or lake. You can be walking in and then the water is somewhere your waist.
Oh wow.
And sometimes even your room gets flooded. And these are because we've built to block the path through which the water
there should be free flow of water when it's raining.
So we've blocked all those chances, and then anytime it rains, water too is something that passes through like channels, like a path to it has its ways. It passes through, but anytime it's being blocked, it has to also find another way out, and the only thing it can do is to get flooded. And you see, one other problem is our gutters. We get them so choked, although we are illegally building on lands that you are not supposed to build on, places that you are not supposed to even build on, but we don't do that. And then we also choke our gutters. When it starts raining, you just come for a tour there benches, and then you will see what I'm telling you. And it has even killed one person before.
Several lives has actually been lost as a result of this.
It is very, very important. So these chiefs, they need to do something about it. You are not, and then sometimes you yourself, that this place is not a good place.
But do you think people are actually aware of that?
Some of them are aware. It's intentional. They will tell this constructed. They will tell you that my foundation is solid. When you build, let the foundation be solid so that when it rains, it doesn't collapse the building.
No, I'm trying to say that. Do you think that people are actually aware that this particular place you're not supposed to build?
That's what I'm saying, that they are aware. It's not that they are not aware, but just look at this. Our population keeps increasing day in and day out. And the more our population keeps increasing, the more, our lands are getting occupied. And the more people are coming, just imagine, you just go and stand at our buses and then you see the number of people that leave the villages to come here because they feel this place is a bigger place. This is a greater Accra, right? Someone have never come here, and the kind of spicy stories and enticing stories we tell them out there, they just want to come, and everybody is trooping in and day out. And trust me, Accra is very flooded with buildings. I mean, on good size and then wrong side. And as I said, the population keeps increasing, and in as much so far as the population keeps increasing, the lands are being occupied, and you also need to build. So you have no other option than to build on that. So sometimes not that they are not aware, sometimes they are aware, but sometimes too they are not. That is why I'm saying that it all boils down to holding some of these chiefs responsible and the people that sell this lands out. What's of the building already being built and the person selling it to you? They wouldn't tell you the true fact. Like this place I mentioned, if you go to, and houses there are very affordable. Houses that are very affordable because they know that the place is a waterlogged area, but then they won't tell you. But when you get there, you will see the mark. Anytime it rains, you will see this kind of mark there, but they'll give you a whole lot of excuse, and then they'll take the money, and sometimes they take 2 years advance. When it starts to rain, that's when you realize that no, but there is nothing you can do. So President Mahama saying that it's very good. If they find anything like that, they should demolish it. And sometimes even government officials do this.
So who do you think should be held responsible for
everyone
this?
From the top to the down,
from those that purchased the
land to the owners that sell the land
to them.
And when they find out and they feel like the person is trying to find it difficult to accept or whatever his or her fault, they should just demolish it because a hard journey. And anytime it's really flat, like every place gets flooded and lives are being lost. You lost your properties because your room become so flooded, your dresses and things flying about in a room. So it's a good one.
Miss Regina, your submission, please.
All right. So first of all, I do agree with President John Dramani Mahama as he has vowed to take decisive action against these people. First of all, you asked there a question: who is supposed to be held responsible?
Yeah.
And I don't know. She said
everyone, including those that sell and those that buy.
Those who buy, I would say, in a way, they have no knowledge about it. Yeah. So that is where yesterday we brought in the discussion of public education. Some people, I feel that you need to wait rainy season before you need to purchase a land, because as a Sibi or her, it's very bad, very poor.
You get to see how bad it is until it's raining season. Because even sometimes if you are going to rent a house, instead of the landlord to be
telling you
truthful and then honest with you and tell you that if there's something they can do about it, they do it. Don't say anything. They'll rent their room to you
because
and then when it begins to rain, then you'll be stranded.
You know, I don't know. I think I showed a video to Debbie. That was around last week, around Weja, Bawe Road, very flooded. And I was like, Kaswan is not a crow to stay in, but you know, people that place at times the rent there is very cheaper at times, so people would consider it, and they will not consider their safety as well, because there's no way say you pay obusika. Now onim said this place obeka current and also obeka koto asas, and that place will be flooded. There's no way that person would do that. But the money is not there, so that is the only thing they can afford. And he's saying that they would make sure that these people leave the areas. Now, we should also think of settlement. Would the government settle these people? Is it even the duty of the government to compensate them? Is it the duty of the government? In a way, I feel it's their duty. In a way, I also feel it's not their duty.
So it should be more or less like a percentage.
Something like that.
So whoever sold the land to you should compensate you.
Really? Where are you going to find the person?
Oh, definitely. if you bought from an original source, certain people just don't come. So we actually have an established companies who sell lands to you, and then if you have issues with the land, they can come in and compensate you.
That is with this estate and all about Koto or Langard, Hokoto.
Oh, that one you forget. That's it. You won't see them again.
So I feel they should put in steps. They should regulate laws that would also help these people who buy lands, people who rent and all that. It would really help. And also with the Ramsar site, and I also saw that he was saying something about people who are on government properties and all that.
Yes.
With the government properties owned there, I feel that they 100% they should be evacuated. I would use Awush Anya markets, for example, the path or the road that they constructed. A lot of people were there selling, which was illegal, but they were still there. People were taking money from these people who have constructed a store, a convenience store to sell. People were taking money from them, but now you are buying asasi. Say baby, it's illegal.
It's illegal.
Sometimes people will be like, oh, I buying your own yeshe. I buying nah check. Like your foundation needs to be strong before if anything happens. It has to happen. So I would say in a way I agree with our president. In a way I don't agree with him. But
why don't you agree with him?
I don't agree with him in the sense that they would evacuate these people. Fine, it's good, but we are in Accra, a country where currently we don't have money. Everyone is broke to some extent.
Okay.
But I
but
believe
you need
that
to
up till now, the people whose homes were misplaced during the tidal waves, and also the Raja Dam, the overspillage, up to now, I feel that some people do not even still have somewhere to lay their heads. They've wasted their source, their money to build a house, and it will be taken away from them. Where would they start from? They can't start from scratch.
So with regards to those people who were displaced, what do you think the government can do?
That is why the government needs to complete the affordable housing project.
Okay.
Has it been completed?
No. The affordable house, is it really affordable?
It will be affordable because it is a government property. And if a normal tenant is paying 300 cedis, 400 cedis, 500, it will be reduced because the government na AC dying, and I government nisika. It is taxpayers' money, and it's taxpayers' money.
Okay.
So I feel they need to complete this affordable housing project. Even up to now, there are lots of people on the street who do not have somewhere to lay their heads. Whereas we have a building, a construction in the bush, which is not completed. So they need to look into that.
The issue of flood has actually been a crisis for Ghanaians or for the country as a whole. Persistent government they've actually come and then they haven't been able to solve this issue. What do you think this government can do differently to solve the issue with flooding and illegal settlements on unauthorized buildings or places?
The best thing to do is, just demolish the place. Because she is saying that if you demolish the place, where are they going to stay? You have a place before coming in here. I wouldn't say that like I'm backing the government. I'm trying to.
No, but if you have a place before coming in, what caused you to move from that place?
Well, I'm not trying to be so much tough on them, but this is it. Okay, let's say unfortunately you went to rent the place unknowingly, and then you realize that this is the condition of this place. Anytime it's a raining season, you don't have your peace of mind, and then you have to be running here and there for shelter. So why don't you leave? And as I said, that place too is less expensive, so people always go there. So the best thing the government for me to do is, you talk to the people, you let them understand. Because if you are trying to say that, oh, when we demolish the place, where are they going? Where would they stay? Then it means we are not doing it, and at the end of the day, it's affecting us. How can it rain and a whole road, constructed road, will be flooded? Does it make sense? But we have drainage system, but all these drainage systems are also choked.
They're choked with sand.
So to avoid all this, as I said, it all comes back to the person who sells the land to those people, or who rent to them. They know very well that this place is a waterlogged area. They wouldn't tell you, and then after that you get to realize that this is the exact thing that is going on here. So first of all, if you get to know this, you the tenant, you don't have anything to do. So I believe that those chiefs or those top officials that sells this land to them, they should be arrested and demolished. I'm still standing on my ground. They should demolish all those houses that are built on lands that do not necessarily need something to be put up on it, so that the water can have its way to go. But if we are keeping quiet and we are saying that when we demolish it, where would they stay? We have to settle them. The government can still settle you.
Yeah, there should be some kind of like compensation.
That one
for
they can do, but you have to do something as well. So you know that this place is a flat place and you are still staying there. I know the economy is hard and you are trying your best, but at least you can still get a place. Makati top, that place is okay, but you come to Makati down. Anytime it rains, like that place, the down part gets flooded, and then the top is always cool. So you can actually get a place that is equally affordable as well. So the best thing the government can do is hold those people who sells the land responsible, discipline them the way you feel like you can to ease some of these things. And then as well, those who have built on places that they are not supposed to build, that is causing this flooding and stuff, demolish it.
Miss Regina.
Okay, so I would start from saying that we all know that Ghana, example, is a country where most people do not build by plan.
Yeah,
they just wake up.
There's actually a law governing that.
Yeah,
and in my opinion, I feel people are actually not aware, because immediately you start putting up a building, the municipal assembly even comes.
Yes,
then they can stop building. But do people really adhere to that? If they are told to stop building, they go back behind doors and then bribe these people, and they still build there.
Exactly. And I feel that these are the same people, these people who go about Omoka, you don't know when they write it. Then they'll start writing those things. These are the same people, after writing it, they will still come back to you and still take money from you to continue with that project.
And I even learned that those that put up those buildings, they intend to write those things themselves, so that the assembly will not come and bother them. So if they are indeed laws, why is it not being enforced? If it's not enforced, this is the situation we will find ourselves in. The flooding will continue.
So that is why I'm saying that it's not as if they don't know. Some of them they know, but they just want to do it.
When last
because
did you hear of it?
I've bought a land, and I cannot just let it go like that, whether it's going to flood or not. You know your life is at risk, but you still go ahead to do it.
Let me use this practical example. When you go to Kwashiman, that big school right there, that school actually refused to move when they were constructing the road. Simply because the man, from what I heard, was saying that on we see the school we are coming to demolish it simply because he wants to construct a road. What did they do about it? They actually went to court and the man won the case. So imagine there were actually laws that need to be enforced. You think he would have built there right beside the road? I don't know if you know that building. When you get to Kwashiman,
is it a blue and white school building?
It's a cream color. And this is actually a school, and anything can happen at that point. What if a car fails its brake and then school has closed?
Bang. Even omo mesisi omo dan kwa wo kwa ho. Eto da car fail brake radem ho. How much more school building?
So if indeed there are laws and it's illegal for you to build on non-authorized places, I think that law needs to be enforced. And if people are not aware, more awareness and education should be created on that particular law.
Exactly.
And there should be punishment attached to it. So if you build at that particular place that you're not supposed to build, you know that this is the punishment that awaits you.
Yeah.
So when you see the punishment, opa, I build it.
You know, some people are stubborn. They will still go to that.
So
extent.
if the law is really dealing with people and people actually use as a deterrent to other people, I don't think this issue will be facing this crisis as a nation.
True.
So if the laws are really there, then the laws needs to be enforced and punishment needs to be attached to it. If you flout the rules, you face the beats. Moving on to our next story. Women in tech advocate for greater investment in female education. Women in the technology sector are calling for deliberate efforts to increase the teaching and learning of technological skills among females, underscoring the need for early exposure, curricular reforms, and financial support. A discussion themed Bridging the Gap in Ed Tech, Women Leading Innovation, brought together 3 key stakeholders in the tech space. The panel stressed the importance of proactive measures to equip more girls with technological skills and bridge the gender gap in the industry. Maud Chagley, Country IT Manager for Plan International Ghana, highlighted the need to introduce technology education at early age and called for a review of Ghana's educational curricula to align with modern technological advancements. Software developer Joy Tari advocated for subsidies and financial aid for girls interested in acquiring IT skills, stressing that financial barriers often prevent young women from entering the tech field. She urged both government and private individuals to step up their support for women pursuing careers in technology. Sarah Amweni, Executive Director of STEM Inclusion Ghana, echoed the call for increased investment in female-led tech education. She urged both government and private individuals to step up their support for women pursuing careers in technology. So women in the technological industry are urging greater investment in tech education for girls to bridge the gender gap. You know, we actually have the perception that when it comes to this technicalities and then the technology is actually mainly for boys, and I think that is we not being fair to the other gender. What do you make of it, them advocating or supporting this cause that proper attention needs to be paid to women who want to go into tech?
It's necessary because, I mean, it's not only about men or boys being involved in technology. What men can do, women can also do better. So I feel like they should encourage them more. You know, sometimes women who want to pursue careers that relate to technology are often discouraged, especially when it comes to this engineering and stuff that has to do with critical, you know, coming up with something very creative has to do with critical thinking. And technology and engineering has to do with someone who is, I mean, you can think and come out with something very good. And you see, technology is not just like you reading and coming to say something. It involves a lot of, I mean, you engaging yourself and using your hand to create something. So I feel like we should start from the basic schools, the senior high schools, just like the way I remember those times. If what's the name, a new school come on board, especially when this school came, health and allied science, UHAS, when it came, the board of the school were going from various senior high schools to educate the students to come and pursue what's the name, nursing, midwifery, and all that, the benefits it has, and a whole lot. So I feel like they should be going to the schools, the basic schools, senior secondary schools, educate them on, I mean, and encourage ladies especially to endeavor into, I mean, this technology world, the engineering, the IT. And it's very nice when you see, I mean, a lady dealing with this.
It's like actually very appealing.
Very appealing.
Very, very nice.
I saw a lady who is into this, those who, I mean, work on vehicles and stuff. So how did they call them? Mechanics. I mean, it was like it was very nice.
Yeah.
And when I saw the thing, at first I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. Careers where men are dominant, when you see a lady there, it's just nice.
I feel it's an advantage,
a very big advantage, very big. And trust me, 2 or 3 ladies, they'll give you more opportunities. And those are sectors that they give a lot of opportunity to ladies, but sometimes we don't want to go there because we feel like hey, this thing maybe I can't do. And what society is saying, you can't do it. Just imagine.
That alone is a discouragement.
It's a discouragement. So doctor. And it has become common. If someone finishes SHS today, it's either be a nurse or a teacher. Come on. Teacher, nurse, lawyer. I mean, that's common. But if someone comes, daddy, I want to be an engineer, not the quiet there. You know, some parents are so, I mean, down that they won't even allow their kids to engage in this career that has to do with technology. And sometimes it's because of the negative perception we fear in those sectors. Someone will be like, that work is very risky. If you're not careful, like especially works like this engineering work that has to do with machines and stuffs, if you're not careful, you end up injuring yourself and those kind of things. That's negative perception. So they'll be like, it's a work that is very tough and risky. If you're not lucky, and you being a female, these works are for male. You know, men are very courageous. Trust me, women are also very courageous. So I think it's a good one. They should encourage them the more, but they should start from the basic schools.
From the basic schools.
Let them know that this course called engineering or anything that has to do with technology is a very good one. You can as well do it. And they should give examples of ladies or women that have been in that career and they've made it and they've left a legacy. To encourage them, to push them to do more. Just as they come to our school to tell us about nursing, doctrine and staffs and a whole lot, they should do same. And they should support them financially. And also here.
So I think with the financial aspect of it, scholarship will do.
So the scholarship is there, but the scholarship is only favoring people who even their backgrounds but they'll still give them scholarship.
Yeah. Okay, so what is more pleasing than seeing a lady being able to work on a vehicle? What is more pleasing, seeing a lady being able to decode, being able to work on a computer?
It's actually a big flex.
See, I tell you, it's
a big flex.
But it all boils down to the individual, and it boils down to the woman as well. Then times way back in JHS, SHS, we were not taking our ICT course seriously.
I think with regards to that, it's simply because you study that course and then at the end of the semester you don't write exams for it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
ICT. Do you write ICT for
Hey, you write.
Hey, you write.
What? Because I never wrote ICT for WASI. I never wrote ICT for WASI. For WASI. I never wrote.
You study.
So if I'm not being
with WASI, it's optional.
It's optional. With the course you are offering.
It was never in the courses.
Maybe level
ICT.
Level 100 you do ICT, but as it goes on,
and it really affected me a lot. Because I was like, if I'm not going,
how did they affect you?
Because I was like, if I'm not writing exam for it, then why do I need to pay like attention to it?
You need to pay attention to it.
So you know,
the
like
exams is not even needed. It's the practicality of the ICT.
So I think they should focus more on the practical aspect of it.
Because in schools, all they do now, draw a mouse. What am I using draw a mouse for? You should rather give me the equipment, the computers, the keyboard. You show me this is the hardware, this is what software does, this is what this and this does, this is what the keyboard, the mouse does. So I try my hands on it.
So it also boils down to lack of infrastructure.
Exactly.
Lack of ICT labs.
Because when I was in SHS, whatever we were taught, there was a day designed or designated for practicals.
Yeah.
You go to the lab and all we do is practicals. I thought I'd cry a bufu because it's boring. But we didn't know that a time will come where we would need it. You know, you can sometimes go for an interview, then they'll ask you, are you familiar with the computer? If you are not, please go back to ICT course. And right now, aside vocational school, one of the major sectors that is really doing well for itself is the ICT.
Yeah, the STEM.
ICT sector.
Yeah,
they are really doing well for itself. You see someone, you know there's a university just for technology.
Yes, there is.
And people are not enrolling. All in the name, they want to sit in the office. And so when your friend say, we a Juma or GhanaTalks, now you are the one handling the technician. What will we use DJ Cham for? We're not using for anything, because we the ladies here, we can be a technician.
Okay.
So first of all, it all boils down to the individual, our own perspective, and secondly, financial help. And also thirdly, I've seen a lot of flyers flying around, especially women in tech. That is the theme for it, women in tech, which are offering scholarships, training, workshops for women. But so baby who know because say I'm not interested. Ejuma we dey e be mejuma. But no, ejuma be enu e be mejuma. Just say be aka say construction because some women are still indulging in construction. Some women are indulging in architectural skills. So how much more women in tech? So I feel that for the STEM sector, they should really pay critical attention to it. It would really help us.
Yeah, and I think we need to renew our mindset and change our mindset that some jobs are specifically for men, and then there are some jobs that are specifically for women as well.
Exactly.
If you have the passion for it, go for it. If you have the passion for it, go for it. And that thing that we have in our brain that so comment. And I think it starts from our basic school as well. If we are learning the course, then why won't you assess us on it? Let people write exams on ICT.
But I think for primary, for JHS, we always write exams on ICT.
But when you go to the BEC and then the WASI,
BEC you write ICT.
But for WASI,
it depends. If you're offering science, it depends the course you
I
offer.
feel like it should even be made compulsory, because we are
in
right now, we are
compulsory.
living in the digital and technological world.
And even our phones.
See, I can tell you that we have people in offices, they can't even save PDF.
They can't. You know, I saw a TikTok video where the person, the boss friend, said download the file, clouds, and on you play obi a win. I say go to window, and she went to window. She opened the window of the building, download the files to cloud. She did like this. Look, I said,
look at this. I feel like it should be a basic requirement. If you are in school, if you are learning it should be compulsory. At the end of the semester, compulsory, you need to do it. And when you go for interviews, compulsory, maybe they should assess you. List 5 shortcuts in ICT.
Yeah,
if you mention, then you get a job. Most people don't even know the shortcuts.
Control plus D.
Look at this. I don't even know.
So it all starts from the basic level.
Yeah, then
so
I
I
feel
think
like
we need to pay attention
too.
to that as well.
From the beginning, they make it seem as if ICT was a very tough subject, like French.
Or me, because of the way they treated it, I never liked it.
So the teachers as well.
Only theory.
So it was after WASI before I went to YouTube to be learning all of the, and my brother was also into tech, so I had the opportunity to learn from him as well. I'm still learning though. Moving on, paying back stolen funds is not enough. Aveji demands tougher punishments for corrupt officials. Former chairman of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, James Kluche Aveji, has criticized the mere recovery of stolen public funds from corrupt officials without further consequences. According to him, allowing offenders to simply refund misappropriated money without facing punishment sets a dangerous precedent that encourages corruption. He painted a stark picture of how corrupt individuals benefit from their actions despite being caught. Mr. Kluche insisted that Corruption should not be treated as a financial transaction where one can return what was stolen and walk free. He expressed frustration over how some individuals see public funds as personal assets they can take and later refund without repercussions. While recovery efforts remain a necessary step, the failure to criminalize and penalize offenders continue to fuel a culture of impunity within Ghana's public sector. So if you look at this, what kind of punishment would you require to these offenders? Should they be lashed?
Lashed is even small. These people need to be tortured like criminals who have killed, who have murdered. These people have not only murdered us, they've killed us, they've stabbed us in the back because we trusted them to the point of electing these people. You don't have the right to just wake up and go and sit in parliament. People elect you. People have that trust in you. You are representatives of the people in the country. But what do? They rather misrepresent themselves. Stealing money. Money which is not yours, you are stealing it. And the last time someone was like, they should just pay. Pay what exactly? Then it would even boost people to always do it because they have the money to pay back. They have the money to settle the government. But if a stronger step is taken to make sure that these people do not indulge in corruption again, do you think that another minister will see it and indulge in that? It will rather deter them.
So you think people have not been punished enough? That is
they
why
have not been punished
we
enough.
keep seeing.
Though you go to jail, you'll be eating. Won't you eat? You eat. These people will even come out and they'll be looking all fleshy, fat. No. So steps needs to be put in place to make sure that these people are used as scapegoats. They need to be punished thoroughly.
Assuming you were the president, what punishment would you give to them?
You know, first of all, I will torture you. I say, someone they are investigating, but the person is hiding the truth. You see how they beat that person. You see, they use they call something electric chair. We put you in the electric hat. I'll put it on your head. I'll shock you.
But in our Ghanaian setting, have you seen any top official being persecuted for corruption?
No.
So why would it continue?
Even if they do, at the end of the day, what do we hear? We hear nothing about the story. We hear nothing about how the investigation went. The verdict that has been given to this person, we hear nothing about it. We hear that this person has been arrested, detained. It's in police custody, it's in prison. But esan say yen fa yin ko hu say ni pay demo and pampano. They will do whatever they want with the person. Ebiana ni panika omuka se wa demu ka the next following week omo de na kwa man and you enjoy or outside. You don't know anything about it. So they need to put in measures to deal with corrupt officials. It's not only about settling the money you stole, but it's about paying for your crime. With you paying for that money, you are being accountable, but you've not paid for your crime. It is a sin.
I can see you are very heated this morning. Miss Debbie.
You see, simple and sure, there should be a death penalty. Oh, it's true.
For stealing public funds.
Yes. That's a taxpayer's money. That's a taxpayer's money. It is not your money.
Well, that's what they make it look like a transaction. As if you are borrowing, then you come and pay back.
No. State money now becoming your personal asset. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the state. And so long as it belongs to the state, it belongs to you and I. So you have no, upper hand over the money. But what do we see? We see these people stealing from the state, and they still have the courage to be walking about freely, coming on air to speak, excuse me, rubbish. To speak rubbish and trash to us, as if to say we're giving our money to you and then we are not coming to beg you again. to give us back our money.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, you said because you've taken from the state illegally, you're coming to pay. What of the interest you've made on that money? Are you going to pay that interest as well? As far as the person is being caught that he or she is a corrupt person and has stolen from the state, the person should be made to face a death penalty. As simple as that. But when we keep, you see, I keep saying this every day, when we keep arresting them, sending them to court, it wouldn't end corruption in Ghana, because it has become normalized. So they feel like this is the order of the day. I'm being caught, and then I'm sent to the court, and because I know some top people there, I give them a fat envelope for pure water, and then that's it. And you know, sometimes they even pay media, some of these medias, to silence the issue. Yes, they do. They pay the media to silence the issue and make it like a doormat. So you hear today this amount of money has been stolen, and we saw Mr. So and so. We've noticed that the amount has been money now have legs in Ghana that can walk from the state account into individual accounts, and then they are being arrested, and then it ends there. We do nothing about it, and so it has become so common, and we have normalized it. We can steal from the state and be proud of it. We work with pride. We are spending state money and we are happy. And the ordinary Ghanaian is suffering, but we don't care. So these people, you see, they are a threat to the country, and they are not only a threat to the country. I would say they are wicked, they are wizards, and they are a mixture of wizards and witches coming together. Because right thinking leader will spend money meant for the development of the country.
But has this made you lose trust in our legal
system?
Time.
Bunch of thieves.
Long time. Knocking at my door. Long time.
So now you don't have trust in our legal system.
That's why yesterday I was telling you that it's better for you to go to Nananom than going past pass it to the right procedure of this our legal system. But when you go to Nananom are so, they listen a lot. If you buy them one egg with a goat, I'm not advising anybody to do that, but I've lost trust in our legal system, our legal practitioners. I've lost trust because they are the same people who come out to say that if a corrupt official is being found, bring them to the court will deal with them, the law will deal with them. They speak the law, they speak big English, but they don't practice it. Even if they practice it, it still favors the people who loot from the state. And it go against we the citizens that are crying that, at least if you arrest the person, prosecute the person. Let them face it the hard way, hard labor. So they will also see it as an avenue, conducive environment to rob, sitting in V8, air-conditioned vehicles, flying abroad and bathing in planes. You see? So I think they should face a death penalty.
Some top officials need to be used as scapegoats, as Ms. Virginia said, to serve as a deterrent to the others in office as well. Well, what can we do as a nation if the recovery alone is not enough? If you were in the shoes of the president, what would you do to persecute these people, these top officials who have stolen public funds? You can leave your comments in the comment section. You can join the conversation on our social media platform at GhanaTalks Radio on Facebook, GhanaTalks Radio on X, and GhanaTalks Radio on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for joining us on our news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
It's another Tuesday morning. Welcome to Debbie's Grill. Without wasting much time, let's dive into our discussion for today. Parliament has approved 250,000 for each member of Parliament through the Ghana Education Trust Fund to support education-related projects in their constituencies. An additional 150,000 has been allocated to each member of parliament for monitoring and supervision of this project, bringing the total to 400,000 per a member of parliament. So which means that each member of parliament will be taking 400,000, to help in solving problems that has to do with our education system, or that is constituted to our education system. So the funds are intended to finance projects such as construction, renovation of schools, provision of educational materials, and other initiatives aimed at enhancing learning conditions across various communities. Now, you know that when it comes to education in Ghana, someone will say we are doing well. Well, you might say we are doing well, but I feel like we have a lot to do when it comes to our education or our educational system. You will go to schools where they do not even have chairs for the students to sit on and learn. Some of these students are learning under dilapidated roofs. Their buildings are so bad that it can go off anytime and at any day. And the students risk their lives to sit under this classroom to study. And I believe you and I were taught that to grab something in class is not only about you coming to class to learn, but as well a conducive environment also counts. Because in an environment where you have to sit on the floor for the teacher to teach, sitting in a classroom that is not even built with blocks, a classroom that is built with sticks and leaves, and anytime it's cloudy you have to go home because it will distort teaching. And so when I saw this yesterday, I was happy, but then I keep thinking about this again. We know our people. Are they going to use this money for the intended purposes? Because each member of parliament is taking 400,000, and this is a lot to help solve all these problems. And I'm saying this because we've seen things like this happening before, where funds are being given to member of parliament to solve issues in their constituencies, and it's not being done. And you see, they were not only giving this money, an additional 150,000 was given to them to for supervision on that particular work, which means that as the project is going on, they have to employ someone who will supervise the work and pay that person 150,000. And we all know that is so common in this country. A project is going on and we don't even supervise. Sometimes we even supervise, but we don't give the right record. This money to our members of parliament, this money should be used for its intended purpose. This 400,000 is not meant for your stomach. It's not meant for yourself and your family. It's meant for the educational system, because we want our educational system to improve. We are lacking behind. See, if you go to some places in this country, you will cry. And because some of these students are determined enough to become somebody in future, they don't really pay attention to this because they want to learn and become someone in future. And parents who are not educated enough discourages this student from going to school, because how can you go to school today? It rains, you come back home, the next day the sun is too scorchy and they have to break classes. So if the government has thought it wise that is going to allocate a fund of 400,000 per a member of parliament, see, we are going to hold you accountable. We are not going just to sit down and then keep quiet. This money should be used for its intended purposes. And trust me, any member of parliament that is going to use this money for his own personal gains, we are going to sit here and then we will make sure that it's either you vomit that money and use it for its intended purposes. We have to change. The president is saying he wants to reset the country. And I believe it's also a means of resetting our educational system. That past behavior of being so selfish that when the money comes, we spend it alone. And see, as long as you are using that money to, make sure that the education in your community or the schools in your community are built very well. There is one thing I'm also requesting. No member of parliament should send his or her wards out to school outside. If truly they want to change the system we have, they should allow their wards study in that same class. Because if your wards is studying in that same class and still the condition is very poor, you as a parent, you understand. But when we allow them to fly their walls outside to school there, how are they going to feel your pain? So to our members of parliament, use the money for its intended purpose, and that is what it's meant for. Not for your pocket, not for groceries, not for other things that do not matter. And please, I think this work should be thoroughly supervised and ensure that these members of parliament are using the money accordingly and not according for. They should use it according to the purpose it's intended for. If not, then trust me, you are not just taking this money and taking it just like that. We are watching you and we will ensure that you use the money. And if you don't use it, then we will see, because you will have to be transparent and accountable. Thanks for joining me on the Biz Grill.
If you don't use the money for its intended purpose, you will see. That is from Debbie. You will see. Obana. Thank you so much, Debbie, for that girl. That was so hot. Anyways, that's big. Anyway, Miss Regina Bless, what do you have for us today?
So today, April Fool. Okay, so today in history, April Fool's Day is celebrated today with jokes and pranks. Its origin is linked to the medieval Feast of Fools, which was held on January 1st. This feast was characterized by a temporary inversion of social order, with clergy and others engaging in playful and sometimes irrelevant behavior. Today, April Fool's Day is a global tradition marked by practical jokes, pranks, and humorous activities, often involving an element of deception. So please, today, be on the watch. Today, 1924, the British Crown assumed control of Northern Rhodesia from the British South Africa Company, marking the end of the company's direct administration of the territory. Today in history, Google launched Gmail on April 1st, 2004, and while it was initially thought to be an April Fool's Day prank, it gained popularity, and by 2007, it had been open to the general public. The South African Navy, formerly known as the South African Naval Service, was established on April 1st, 1922. As a small coastal force with the initial ships, including a survey ship and 2 mine-sweeping trawlers. Netherlands became the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage, with the law coming into effect on April 1st, 2001. Moving to some did you know for today. Did you know that our sense of smell plays a significant role in what we perceive as tastes? With around 80% of what we experience as flavor actually being derived from our sense of smell. Did you know that phantom vibration syndrome is a common phenomenon where people feel their phone vibrating in their pockets when it's not? A tactile hallucination often associated with excessive phone use. Did you know that during sleep paralysis, the brain is awake and aware, but the body is temporarily unable to move or speak, a state that occurs during transitions between sleep and wakefulness? Did you also know that the World Health Organization operates on a 2-year budget cycle with a target of $4.8 billion? The annual budget, that is approximately $2.4 billion per year, with further targets for extreme emergencies. Did you also know that Alaskan wood frogs are known for their remarkable ability to hold their urine for up to 8 months, and their bodies recycle the urea, the main waste product in urine, into useful nitrogen, which helps them survive winter hibernation. So this is where I end today's Today in History. And did you know, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Join me same time tomorrow for more.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for the education. The last part, I'm interested in the last part.
So the Alaskan wood frog, crong. Frog, you can't say all frogs make.
No, we have the ones they eat, and then we have the ones they don't eat. I think the toad rather. If I'm not lying,
the toad are the ones they
eat.
Yeah.
And is it that ones that makes noise, or is it the frog?
I think all the frogs.
All makes noise.
They all make noise.
They all make noise.
All the frogs make noise.
Crong.
But this frog is beautiful.
Hey, please. Which frog is please?
The creator of God is very beautiful.
It's beautiful, but please
allow me to admire nature.
Sorry, ma. Then it means snakes are also beautiful.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually have some snakes which are very beautiful, but please.
I don't like snakes, but I like their color.
The thought of it gives me.
You know, sometimes when I see people wearing dresses that has this, then my body's doing something. This type of like cobra skin or something. Some shoes, but the shoes is even better. No, but the dress,
I feel like it will bite me on the
I feel like I'm wearing snake skin.
But their skin are actually used for leather, for bags,
shoes. For the bags is okay, but dress.
But you know, we have a snake village in Ghana.
Yes,
we have. Yes, where you can
actually discover
a python on your neck. It's in the Volta region.
Huh?
Yeah, Volta region.
Well, let's go there one day. Well, let's explore.
I'll go, but I won't follow you people to where the snakes are. I can't.
As long as it's a snake village, it means that no.
No.
I
think they are encaged.
Yes, they are encaged. Like the way
but
they
that
do
is a snake
dogs.
Village. Definitely, there'll be some in the bush somewhere.
Yes.
Oh, see, can we stop talking about snakes?
Oh, why? You don't like snakes?
Today is April Fool.
Yeah.
Has any of you experienced April Fool before?
I have experience. I think way back in J. April Fool, go to school.
But has anyone?
I haven't experienced, but I've done it to a friend before.
Yeah, I've done
what
it
did you do?
Before.
I was like, she said she wanted me to buy her something. So I called her on April 1. I was like, I'm at your gate, come for it.
Really?
She was like, I'm coming, be on the phone. She got out and she was like, Deborah, where? I was like, April Fool. She was very mad at me, so that is it. I haven't experienced one, but I didn't go for that. And today I'll do one.
Oh. For me, I only experienced it when I was in JHS. Hey, No, the lecturer is calling you. The teacher is calling you. Go to the teacher's office. Oh, I didn't call you.
When you do it to your teacher, it's really nice.
Hey, but
really
that's
nice.
Disrespect.
You do it to your teacher.
Yes, I remember JHS.
Well, it depends the kind of relationship you have with your teacher. You can do that. You know, some teachers, they don't tolerate nonsense. They'll punish you.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they'll punish you.
No.
Let
me try and see
if I see you outside, I'll stone you.
Hey.
Let me see if I can pull one on someone today.
I would definitely put one on someone today. Definitely. If you see
Definitely,
me
we
run,
will fee. So the person can actually.
All right. So this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be coming with the holiday edition of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Stay tuned. What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo, komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fit spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app, no, our Play Store and the App Store. No tune in, and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Cointakra, any GhanaTalks Radio page, and this now listen. I bet you fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast. French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo, komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning to everyone. Today I entered through a different door. I guess you were expecting to see Madame hosting the program today, but today it's me. You are stuck with me here on GhanaTalks Radio Breakfast Show. My name is Dubik Ganip Steven, and I'm your host for the holiday edition of the program. I have my gentleman in the studio, Pakwesi Omare, and Pakwesi the manager. Today, Madam has taken my position, and then Mr. is here. So, as usual, we are going to do justice to the trending issues, and then the happenings in our political space since Monday till today. So let me say good morning to my guest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pakwesi.
Mr. Dubik.
Oh my, Madam. How are you, and how is the holiday treating you?
Honestly, it hasn't been bad, but I haven't really been that healthy since yesterday, so I've been under the weather.
Why we now Mana?
Oh, Chesanam ne crabby my a town for an person, I'm Nibia, I'm the area of Bommy.
So, Pakwesi manager, how are you? And how is the holiday treating you?
Salam, very well. Since we started the breakfast show, I think this is the first time I'm appearing on the show. Yes, we have a kind of join there. Really, the holidays has been quite okay. What else can we do? Since I'm not in Newtown anymore, Newtown folks, they've refused to call me. But definitely I'll hit some of them up after the show. But there's a small Salah, so Salah with the bigger one will come out. We don't really expect much because I am the area, but when we get to the big Salah, we shut down in DH. So Baraka the Salah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. It's been a very good one. First, when we go through the Ramadan seasons, after Ramadan, we hear a lot of chaos. The guys will be using their motorbikes and causing all sort of mayhem. But I believe for some period now, we've had little of those issues. Even yesterday, I heard the president also advising that whoever that engages in those kind of things, the police should just take the law and make sure that there is peace and calm. Because, hey, Charlie, Ramadan, we've gone through the holy month. What else do you want us to, start a new month with such chaos? So, at least. We know that they've all prayed for Mother Ghana, and we are going to have a very fruitful year ahead. So we are enjoying it. We are taking it cool. This is the first time we have 2 holidays for an Eid. So back to back, we are enjoying it.
So that takes me to our first topic. We are looking at are we just satisfying a religious need, or does it have economic significance? Akwesi, Madam, I'm starting with you.
Well, a very good morning to our beautiful listeners wherever they are, and good morning to you yourself and to my manager, who is my colleague guest today. Well, in regards to the significance of these holidays, or it's just been a religious satisfaction, I think that in Ghana as a country, we have an honorable status for our religions, and this is where we've significantly identified 3 modes of religion for ourselves. Even though there are so many religions, we've had the Christian religion, the Islamic, and then the traditional. And so, in as much as we can look at the economic status of our country, we should give reverence to the religious bodies that also signifies or contributes to this same economy we are talking about. We look at the Christians. they have much more days for their holidays. Then the Muslims also used to be just 1 day, but now it's been 2. The satisfaction of it, I don't really see it in that manner, because they work. These people work to contribute to the nation, to the economy, the growth of the economy. And so if there is a time for them to have a break and celebrate their religion, their beliefs, it's in the right sense.
Okay,
It's significance.
So if I get you correctly, you are looking at you are telling us that it has religious significance, but not much of economic significance. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm actually trying to say is that the economy itself can't do without these religious people. Mm-hmm. They are the same people who contribute to the economy. Mm-hmm. So if there is a time for them to celebrate that religion, we should give reverence to that.
Okay. Parkwesi manager. Boss. What are your views on these matters? Do you think that celebrating or having these holidays benefits us economically, or it's just to satisfy our religious needs and religious views?
I would say yes. This is on the background of a campaign promise from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Whilst he was campaigning, one thing that he focused on was to make sure that when he gets the nod to lead the nation again, he will make sure we get 2 holidays for the Eid al-Fitr celebration. Now, why the 2 holidays and why the need for presidency to give them that? I'll take it from this angle. You see, most often we seem to give too much power to the presidency to do whatever they want to do. Holidays in Ghana has become some sort of party. When party A is in power, they want to enact some sort of holidays. When the other party comes, they trash it based on their political ideology, yes, and who is voting for them and where they are getting their vote for. You quite remember when the Eswa MPP administration came, they cancelled Republic Day, which was on 1st July, and made sure that we had a Founders Day on 4th August, because to them, they were founders of the country, and 4th August, has some coloration in our history, because they wanted to celebrate everyone involved in our process to gaining independence. So they enacted 4th August. They brought in Constitution Day on 7 January. They took away the African Union Day. Yeah. They took away a couple of them.
Yes. And I think they brought Kwame Nkrumah's birthday.
Kwame Nkrumah's birthday was there. But yes, Kwame Nkrumah's birthday was, I think that started from late Professor Mills's time, that we enacted that we should have a day for Kwame Nkrumah. So that was there. They didn't take away that. So at the back of that, when President Mahama was campaigning, they also made the point that when they come, they will come and review some of these holidays and make sure that they take some out and also bring in others. And they promised the Muslim community that, there's a disparity when we are having the Ramadan season, because sometimes the sighting of the moon, sometimes we don't get it at the right time or at the end of the Ramadan. Sometimes it comes a day before we end it, or most often the very day that we are going to.
So some people end up spending
early and others. So there was the need for us to make sure that we balance this. So it was at the back of that he said, because of that disparity, let's just make sure that we get 2 holidays for that. But let's look at the holidays. What economic significance are we getting from these holidays? Now we have 2 holidays. Since yesterday and today, a whole lot of businesses are not working, especially the corporate world. They are not working. Most of them are not working, except for when you go to the markets, the Kantaman, to the Kaishi, the Abosokan, who they hardly take this kind of holidays. They will normally go to their workplaces to work. So it has a very big toll on our economic situation in the country. Once we were having the 2024 campaign, I was following one of the independent candidates who was of the view that he was going to institute a 4-day working period, which was basically going to be about achieving tax. And when you set targets for employees to achieve, whenever you achieve your target, then you are done, because productivity doesn't really correlate with the number of days that you work.
I get it.
It's only when you are giving tax that by the end of the week you need to make sure that you sell X number of goods, and when you are able to even sell the X number of goods within 2 days, then it means that you've achieved your tax for the week and you can take the rest of the days off. So he was of the view that he was going to institute 4-day working hours. Then the remaining 3 days, which was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll use for leisure, rest, and other businesses that you want to do. And I listened to that, and I think it made a lot of sense to me, because most businesses in Ghana, we are not target oriented. We are just that, let's come to work.
8
to 5. Whether you achieve target or not, we are working. The moment it's 5 o'clock, we are all going back to the house, irrespective of whether you've even achieved a purpose or not. All that you need to know is that you are working from 8
you came to work and you signed in.
But when there are specific tasks given or target given, and say, oh, you are given a task of a week, achieve this, and you can use like within 24 hours or 48 hours to do it, meaning that the rest of the week, the rest of the days within the week, you are done.
Yeah, sure.
You've achieved your target for the week, and that is what productivity is all about, and that contributes significantly to productivity.
So what you're saying is that instead of us targeting special days to make it holidays, we should set tax for us to achieve, and when you are done achieving your tax for the week,
you can take the days, the rest of the days for yourself and do other businesses.
So what if you meet a very greedy boss who would give you a tax for the week, and when you achieve the tax for the week, you say, no, I'm paying you for a week's work, so whether you have achieved your tax for the week or not, stay at work and do another tax. How are you going to balance that? Because there are going to be bosses who are going to abuse that policy. Proposal,
yeah, but you see, that is where you all sit on the table to discuss and negotiate and see, because you also need to think through the welfare of the people. You can't always just say we should work and not be doing or not be thinking about the welfare of people, because pushing them to the extreme where the body will be tired, the mind will be tired, and you won't get the best out of the person. So there will be the need for us to, work these things out. And I believe that will be the best way for us to go. Because holidays now awesome. To be honest with ourselves, the holidays now Ghana holiday ban. Everything is a standstill.
How many days? How many number of holidays we have in a year currently?
Currently,
we have January
1st. We have January 7th.
January 1st, January 7th.
6th March, no cry. 7th March, no cry.
So we can say it's a holiday to
the kids,
yes,
to the school.
Okay.
That's 4. Then we'll come to April. We'll have 2 holidays in April because of Easter, okay, Friday and Monday. So that's 6. Then inside Eid Arbekon, that's 8. Then we'll go to July. Okay. I think Mahama President is bringing the Republic Day. International Arbekon 9. So you got 4th August.
So we have about 13 holidays.
13 holidays.
Okay.
13 holidays.
Out of 365 days, we are using 13 days as holidays.
Papa,
you see, some of those things we can just commemorate it. I like the fact that AU Day, we've taken the holiday off and we're just commemorating it. The day is there for us to say, oh, today is African Union Day, so let's remember where we've come from.
If you look at a lot of these days, we have the World Women Day, we have the Cancer Day, we have a lot of days.
I was coming to that if we're going by that, then Women's Day will be holiday. Boyfriend's Day will be holiday. Mother's Day will be holiday. Valentine's Day will be holiday. What sort of living is this? So we can just be commemorating some of these days, and but yes, religious wise, they need it because of the imbalance of the Ramadan period. Because we hardly know that the Ramadan will be, the moon will be sighted on this day or that day. So that's, I agree, but we need to find a way. We need to find, because there will be that suggestion, or that the Muslims can also mount that defense that the Christians, we have 2 holidays. We have
more than 2.
We have 2 separate holidays when it comes to Easter and Christmas.
That is 4 days.
That's 4 days for.
But I think now Muslims will have 4 days, because there's Eid al-Adha coming up.
No, Eid al-Adha will be one. Eid al-Adha we don't do any activities towards the Adha. We just choose a day and we move. Eid al-Adha. The reason why the president gave that was because of the disparity in the Ramadan season, the moon sighting. That's the only reason that he announced that. But economic wise, it's not helping us as a nation, because already within that 5 days that we work, we most of the time we achieve little.
Okay.
Because we are not target oriented, we are not setting targets for ourselves to achieve. So if we are pounding or we are adding up so much holidays, then
but
you're going to say something, madam.
Yeah. with the suggestion of target orientation, do you think our economy is structured in a way or in a system that we can have that kind of system?
Yeah, we can. When we go to the insurance companies, they do that.
Because we are looking at, let me just take it from the energy perspective. 70% of the companies or industries run on energy. Let's look at our energy health, the health of our energy, electricity. There are times that an entire company, industry, business can go without doing anything because of the energy crisis they are facing.
That is where contingency comes.
But
contingency at the cost of your production.
I would say that is an unserious industry, because every industry in this country, they have their specialized power that is being supplied to them. Most of the big factories, even in the malls,
even Valco is on a specialized line.
Yes, they give you
recently we saw the airport shut down, right?
No, it was.
And even if we are going to specialize companies,
let me clarify something. Ghana Airport Company, they are not supposed to be on the national grid.
So why are they on it?
They are not supposed to be on the national grid. In advanced countries, their national grid serve as backup to their airport.
Exactly. So you see, you just use advanced country. So we are not even that much advanced to have such a structure or system. So if you are going to look at that, then we need to go back to the drawing board, look at all these things, structure it properly before we can have such a system.
But you see, when you go to most of these factories, industries, they give the laborers, they give them targets. Most of them work based on targets.
Yes, of course.
So targets based work is achievable. When you even come to the communication or the services sector, e-commerce and stuff, we can use similar approach in there. Because for instance, when you are running an e-commerce company and say you are doing deliveries like Ghana Post is to deliver things across board. So all your what's their name, dispatch riders,
yes,
you are giving them targets. Say if to Anya Soto Anya constituency or Gan Central Municipal Assembly, I'm supposed to within the day make sure that I do deliveries about 30. Why can't I do that?
Even without electricity, you don't need electricity.
Yes.
To do
Why
this.
can't I do that?
That is just an aspect of the business we are talking about. We have so many other businesses.
Yes, and I'm saying that where our country is going, where everybody sees that we need to move towards industrialization, the industries that we want to get in there, they work based on targets. When you go to most of these manufacturing industries, they are working based on targets because nimpana our line A and production, you know, you see by we 1 hour also muncha such as a bottle way also muncha by 10 packs, and you make sure that within the hour no muncha 10 packs, you know. So most of these factories or industries are working based on targets. They set targets for their people.
I'm not actually arguing that fact. I'm saying that our system, if we are to move to that structure permanently, we don't have the system to run it.
But we need to build systems.
System must be built.
Built, yes.
No,
and that's why in my submission I made it clear that then we need to go back to the drawing board and make these systems.
Of course, you see, as a country, if we decide that we are going this direction, of course we have to realign or readjust our ways
of doing things.
Of course.
Have we rather done that as a country?
Of course, it has never been a government policy. We are here discussing it. Until it becomes a government policy, that is when they can readjust, design this whole system to fit the policy.
You see,
let me bring you
before you come in. You see the e-commerce thing I was talking about. My cousin runs a courier service, and he's the president of National Courier Association. Those times we were meeting the courier, the agency, and he was proposing that. You see, Ghana Post was redundant because most of the private people have taken the business of courier and e-commerce. So we were proposing that. Why don't the National Post Office be the main courier center? Then every other entity will come under it.
Of course.
So if I'm running Park Courier, I'll be given like a designation, like Gan Central, that one will take charge of Gan Central. So every deliveries that comes in
that goes to Gan Central.
Ghana Post at the amount. Now why I have Gan Central? No, we'll be taking which will be taking. Go from Obieteki mem Gorson, so that business Ghana Post never the main way.
Of course, just like Bank of Ghana and the banks.
With that,
Ghana Post will be the regulator.
Regulator. Doing so, Ghana Post itself ebenya that muzzle ebenya that capacity to run,
and they'll be even
efficiency. But this proposal, I can't. But me sure say, Obi actually akoton proposal we
yeah, of course.
So that's actually the problem we have. And coming to what I was about to say before, that once we decide to move towards a policy, let's take the policy of the free education service, free SHS. We made the policy moving towards that. Did we plan towards it? Did we build structures to accommodate that policy?
You see, the problem with free education
as a policy, we don't need to single it out as
okay.
I'm trying to focus on the entire governmental system.
The problem I'm the host now. I'm discussing it. See, the problem.
We need to ask to discuss.
The problem with Ghana issues and policies is that most of our policies are campaign promises.
Yeah.
So by hook or crook,
we need to
implement it. So we don't normally really think it through, bring technical people on board. You see, a political manifesto, they will bring a group of people, then give them educational sector, develop a policy direction for education. You see, what you do with that is that you don't get the input of the stakeholders. It is just a few selected people. Now, even
the few selected people are party affiliated
people. So they will do what will benefit their party. So what? Of course, what we have to start doing as a nation is that the policy shouldn't be for elections. It shouldn't be for winning elections. You see, we should have a national policy that every political party will go in and pick priorities from. So, for instance, if you are contesting for the 2028 elections and we have a national policy, you go into the national policy and you tell Ghanaians what are your priorities in the national policy. This person will go into the national policy and tell us what are their priorities. So you compare the priorities and see what is needed at the point I ever to. Then we will vote based on your priorities. Until we do that, Ghana the political parties will always cook a half-baked policies and present it to us, and we will have no option than to accept it.
You see, on even the free SHS issue that you spoke about, yes, as Jubik says, most of our policies that we run are party manifesto policy that we run. Now look at the free SHS policy that you spoke about, that we didn't really plan properly towards the free SHS, because we knew that the moment we kickstart free SHS, there will be inflow of students.
Yes.
We'll quadruple the numbers that we had. So we didn't build the structures. So when it started, then we had that problem. Then there was a bit of solution to go double track and stuff.
A temporary solution.
Temporary solution, so that we can gradually be building the structures. I believe some of the senior high schools have taken the double track off, because they have the facilities to accommodate all the numbers and some of them too insisted that they won't go beyond certain number. Like Wesley Gay won't go beyond the number that they always take, because of the facilities that they have. Now, in 2024, when we're having the election, NDC also promised that when they come, they will take off the double track. Now, it's something that they're going to do. In the next few weeks, I'm hearing that double track will be cancelled and everyone will go.
It's being cancelled, so they are supposed to report.
Now, do we have the facility to take all of them at the go? No, we don't. Not yet. So why do you rush? Because it's a campaign promise and you need to fulfill. No.
Exactly.
You see, we've all come to realize that the free SHS, whether good or bad, is something that has come to stay. You can't do anything.
Of course.
But all that we need to do is reform, restructure, and make sure that the policy gets that muzzle to stand on its own, like the way the president has allocated the biggest fund since the inception of the policy to it this year in the budget. So why don't we take our time, make sure that we get the infrastructure? That is one thing sometimes I tend to like about like the MPP. They will tell you that MPP is not building new schools, but when you go to the old schools, they are building more infrastructure like classrooms or dormitory. The reason being that in Ghana, when you talk about second cycle school, nobody wants to go to a new school.
No.
What's now we o confront people o person o man now confront people. O Achimota, you want all your kids to go to Achimota. So when Achimota is not expanding, where do you want your kids to go? You don't want your kids to go to, your friend is saying, any fancy. Everyone wants their kid to go to the prime school. People even, I know one lady who went to Ola Girls, and she had 2 girls, and she wanted all the girls to go to Ola Girls. And I found out we Ola Girls. And I mean, Fantiman. Do you know that the second born to Omani Confantiman? Because we won't say Fantiman air day. It's Omani money now Confantiman. And that is how it is. People always want their kids to go to the schools that they went to. So if you are not expanding those schools, then virtually those are the A class, B class, C class schools. So we need to continue expanding those schools to make sure that they accommodate more. So if you are building new schools, shall there be a dense amount for local new school? Because selected schools in BCR. Look at even the list that they give them. Now I hear that they give them like 6 options. 6 or bit to look offer. Me my time.
Class A schools.
Me my time. My dad chose Accra. Me 3 schools with 3 choices now. Accra. I'm saying them all here. Into me have a school. Let me cause a so my dad didn't know
that you have changed
it. On the net again and say me go Accra. I'm adding first choice Accra, second choice Accra, third adding. So that is how it is in second cycle school. So there will be the need for us to rather expand the existing high schools, even the class A schools and the class B schools. Odogono is a class A school. Odogono takes almost like 2,000 students each year. So we need to expand Odogono so that every year we're able to accommodate the huge number of people that are coming there. And forget about building new schools. The only new schools that we need to even focus on building probably will be the universities, so that it becomes accessible to everyone. But for the secondary school, we need to expand. It is our expansion here. You say you call cancel double tracking. How are the kids? How are the schools going to accommodate all these kids? We are told that free SHS is now getting over I mean 2.something million students.
I think that the allocation made for free SHS, I think some will go into infrastructure.
Yes, it should.
Okay.
They need infrastructure.
But the time is so short. Like the time they are supposed to report to school, which is going to be all of them. During now till that time, how many infrastructures can they put in place?
That idea of cancelling that double track immediately is totally wrong. Because I remember Edichum said that they were trying progressively to make sure that they fade out the double track, and even for us to get back to the original calendar, academic calendar, which starts from September and ends in somewhere July or something. Which COVID messed up. So there's no rush. Now, the biggest fear for Ghanaians against the NDC was for you to cancel the free SHS. And now you didn't cancel it. You've even given the biggest allocation to the policy. So take your time. No one is on your neck. Take your time and make sure that...
But don't you think that they are looking at it from an angle that if all the students are in school at the same time, now they can look at the problems that will come out and really solve them? Don't you think they are looking at it from that same angle?
All the students are in school now. It's going to be tough. Because now all the students are in school. Feeding already is a big issue in secondary school. Accommodation is a major issue. People struggling to get bed, dormitories to sleep. No joke. For the classroom, they're able to make a camp home, but where they will sleep. And bear in mind, this free SHS, most of the students are in the boarding house.
Yes.
The majority of them are in the boarding house.
The day students
are very few.
Yes.
Majority of the students are in the boarding house. So it's going to create a huge problem. But yes, sometimes you will say, let's get them all there and see the challenge. But how quickly can you solve that challenge?
That is my...
Because if you are going to even raise infrastructure, it will take months.
It will take time.
Yes.
It will take time.
It will take months to raise infrastructure. So, Charlie, this thing, we for relax. There's no one, chasing anyone. Free SHS right now is the biggest policy for every government to continue. So, Charlie, relax. Education Minister Haruna, relax. Haruna was crying. The last time Afayon was crying for Haruna that they've taken Get Fund and the Free SHS Secretariat out of the Education Ministry and sent it to the Office of the President. And those are the two biggest funding source for the Ministry of Education. And you've taken that from the minister's hands. Charlie, what's up? Why are you doing my Haruna like that?
Of course, Marcus says, why are they doing his Haruna like that?
Oh, my Haruna, why are you doing my Haruna like that?
Okay, just a quick reminder, this Ghana Talks Radio, and you can watch us live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, on all our social media platforms, and you can send us your messages. We read them live here on Ghana Talks Radio. So moving on to our next topic, we are looking at the missing containers of what do you call it, ECG. Parkway, madam. I always start with you. What do you think is the problem, and what is going on there, and what is the latest update?
This issue is an issue that I am so much interested in it, but then I really want to take my time because it's still unfolding. It boils down from their debt structuring. For the past 8 years, looking at the previous governments, they inherited a 10 million dollars or cedis debts in the ECG. They made revenue of about 70 to 80 million. And yet still, they are owing about 60 something million. So, I still don't get it. Their structure is this. You just take the power and you sell. And people buy it too. And no more free.
Say prepaid.
Exactly. So how then do you accumulate debt? Secondly, we look at this particular issue of missing containers. We've just realized that ECG don't even have a procurement structure. How can such a big institution for a country whose most often activities are based on procuring products not have a procurement structure?
So you think this missing containers has got to do with the procurement structure?
Oh yes. And all this boils down to management. Because management never say we have a procurement facility that facilitates all these things for us.
That's containers and also buy, and ECG hasn't taken stock of it. So why can't you blame the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, or even the GRA or the SEPs, who the people at the port? Why can't we blame them?
For anything to happen to mine products at the port, na se me man ko hanti omo, that means they are not wrong.
There been say ECG so
the ECG board then, or even up to now, yet say ECG aba out aka say ye kra niema bi bae na port fo ama na irada yet ye
Debbie.
And all these investigations that has been going on for the past 1 week to 2, have we heard the ports being implicated in these investigations yet?
Not yet.
Exactly. So the problem is not with the ports.
Debbie, when I said men so me de niema e be gu ho na me ba na ira e wo say me busa questions. And
so
so
the
ECG for
here is the problem.
You see, when ECG imported the things, port for say muntua ye ka. So we are confiscating the things, we are keeping the things until modi esika bra na mababeje.
Okay.
So say how then do we blame ECG and not the people in charge of the port?
Enti port for no.
So I feel that ECG for akoso omoko fa mo nema. Meboa. Now the new minister came in and says, "Me koye audit. Na ma hwe car me de mo na matua mo ka." Af e ho no hu say enema na ira. Enye sa. So why are we leaving the port to go like to
port in a cry new man?
ECG na cry.
Good. Say enema na ira e wo port for nsema. This missing containers we are talking about, it's not missing to ECG. It's missing to Ghana.
They say at the end and say where I don't agree with we leaving the Ghana Ports and Authority off the hook.
The investigations so far has led to we knowing that those cables were actually sold to some people.
By whom?
By ECG.
Because ECG hadn't taken charge of the things yet, so they didn't have any authority to sell the things.
How do we know ECG didn't take charge of the things?
You see, ECG only takes charge of the thing when they've paid for
and
cleared them.
Now, semi makraka aba. Na minister me di na me ka che ose ko clear car na fa. Wo kwa mo mfa ma.
Now we clear with what document? So we no be provided documentation
because bail of lading no ye the bail ECG. And I won't fan call say me be clear me niema. So say niema no go port na ira. The people, in my own view, the people we should be holding to account for this whole thing should be the port authorities. If they now say ECG for the authorization, say that's where you have problem with ECG.
The reason why when I was beginning my submission, I said that I am very interested in this issue, but it's still unfolding, so I will take my time. It's because of some of these things. The port can never release it to someone else without the person.
I'm not forecast the airport or the BL. Have you ever heard say Ubia cracker free abrochaba? Na can accord demurrage. Na a bra would yes, cast what you can or quite necessary can anyhow.
And see, Osha Sana to ECG for. I'm not too much Tracy. I come baby. I cables and all.
And said, in my opinion, Sana to
you see, this whole ECG issue. I would say most of our state institutions are not serious. Oh, seriously. Remember that Ghana Health Ghana Health.
Yeah.
Containers also
and say over years ni containers or clear port. Those things are essential.
Some of them even had a expiry date which was going to expire in the next 3 months.
Essential deliveries that we needed for our people in terms of healthcare. You see, what serious institution ever cry in Myanmar about ports?
And
a donation. Munga clear so na from share munko for so what sort of nation are we in? So most of our institutions are not serious, and the leaders manning those institutions there, sometimes we want to use some nice adjectives to qualify them, but most of them, I don't know, they are useless and are senseless. Because Obia Chawade what's a man for ARA?
Pakwasi, unim say at that time, minister now Ghana health service. No, was with me sign contractor on you know.
Wait, menu. Menu on the forgetting. No, for fun, for some year we are. Nem branch or how much my dream. Now we say on sign contract. You see, most of our people don't really appreciate some of these things. They don't care about us. Because what's sell Manisika, Accra, Nyamaba? First of all, Nyamanokra, some of them you can't even use within the specified time. Let's expire before even you get to use them. And you're not taking any serious steps to go to the ports. We're government to government agencies and Mokasa. So why should it be difficult? Papa Kwesi essentials, medical essentials aba. And I mean to mean it's a way I caught it. AC in the hospital. Bawi. Me area ho. Onya donors equipment. A brain upper government just say born and clear. Say and then government be kwako buy quote no clear in the man say hospital is a dining the whole building is one. Just because government of Ghana is not willing to help Bazooka Kote to clear some of these things to come fix.
Why?
Why? Because obi nya cat go baby. Obi nya bibi o baby.
You see, one aspect of the ECG thing that we are not looking at is government owes ECG when it comes to certain institutions. What I say, are buying not the ECG card. So what they can do is that what makes me I something like a barter trade. A kana ye abine the money you're saying. Na mo niema no abedi port no ne boy saying. Na nka ye balance. What I say?
I'm over balancing what way.
You see, to say ECG Accra and niema abedru port. Abine no so institution do or ha or more that ECG meters so or more the ECG car or muntia. So the best that could have happened was ECG4 could have gone to the government. Are buying the kasi central government owes us this amount. Since you could try near Manaka portal, it will go to the consolidated fund. Inti monte sa canon free. Sa import duties na a bit try the monte free. Namon from my say Bibe Kai the best sum so being cancelled.
Make us say
could have done that.
I want to make us say most of our leaders in our government agencies they are not serious because ECG the biggest debtor government of Ghana.
Yes.
Kolebu, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade, all the ministries.
Won't take class a parliament in Ponomode.
Parliament class all ECG do mobilize that. Even presidency create the ECG card.
But how does this in any way warrant the containers to get missing?
No, containers issue no there. You see, it all comes back to say we are not serious as a country. And there are under dealings in all these things. Every other person from the GPA to the ECG, Ministry of Energy, they are big people who are involved in this thing. This not be say agents no more port on a you can't do that.
Exactly.
Things that are with serial numbers that can be tracked. What you say me a normal agent or porter, me to no. There will be people at the ECG people at the Ministry of Energy, people at the Port and Harbors Authority,
That was what I
who
was trying to
connive
see.
to do this dealings. And it's not about ECG alone. Most of the government agencies now
Yes,
You
sir.
see, the reason why I was asking the questions I was asking is that now what no man tiffy. Now me bana near manaya. When him say I don't have to hold any of man accountable, I have to hold you accountable for you to produce nipa no man.
Yeah.
So my point was that if we are holding the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority accountable, they will now produce nipa or maybe
Why are we taking them out?
How were we able to track to get to where the containers were if the ports were Basi Aguso tracking. It's a ports now involved one. And na.
It tells you that the ports, you need to also hold the ports accountable.
Exactly.
Why are you
That's
taking
my
the
point.
ports out?
The point, the ports cannot be
taken out of this
extricated from these issues. They have to be equally accountable as ECG is accountable.
For me,
no. I said we're simple. In fact, I'm a warehouse. And I own warehouse. What can maybe warehouse? Now what bus will be you? Nema now bana unyama ebi ni warehouse man. Nya me now warehouse owner now be bisa me say me nyama no wan. Unyama no wan.
What we are failing to understand, I think right now, NSA, the new minister, I didn't see one as you.
There be
I don't know.
So that means that whatever being the case, that the reason why holding some people accountable and not the ports, the investigations, as I said, they're still unfolding. So we can't really get all the facts.
As at yesterday, as at Saturday,
yeah.
as at yesterday, the minister is proposing to constitute a 3-member special board, a special committee to investigate. Ghana no committees there. I mean, who
Ghana
14 committee.
Why do we have
investigative authority be
yes, now I say committee. What would the committee do?
You see, and I make sure say, you see, our leaders, our leaders.
This can even be a test to the new IGP. Fine, we are giving you 3 months.
3 months, they said,
2 months. Bring all the investigate this and bring all investigate this. Investigate this and bring all the corporates on board. If you fail, you are gone. That can also be in a target.
So me can't target as someone won't tell you.
If you fail, you are gone.
Or not now on any issues no. As at now, maintaining count. And I said, "Yambo, I'm about being Kakano, whom I'm questioning you. I saw you."
But looking at this issue, can the IGP say that I am taking matters into my hand?
Okay, no.
Unless they bring
in police way, you know. Unless somebody reports
a crime,
a crime and sign a way.
Even if
police are assigned to me, sorry.
If we are, if Semino is a sorry, and police station, they start to say, do you know they can only arrest us for only one charge on only one ground, cause public nuisance. Aside that, they cannot arrest me for assault or whatever. Exactly. Just a walk report. They say, member assault.
Exactly. So in that case, I think the government is also not doing something right.
You see, as at now, we don't even this ECG issues. We don't even know
who sold the containers,
whether it happened under MPP or under NDC.
Of course,
because bear in mind, NDC by 3 months new.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
What
you say? You see, those times I remember in 2017 when MPP by even in 2016 and another winning. Just 2 days or so, I'm gonna declare Nanado. People started chasing people away from we are Nima toilet, Newtown toilet because honest kind of war. Now Makwajina Matinano. And no.
But
it becomes your bonifide.
Well, there's one. The Shy Hills containers they retrieved. It was known that it was sold to them in October 2024. The other one, what was it?
The Chinese one.
It
was also sold in 2024. So far we know that at least.
So as and when we are getting, we get them. We know when and where the things were sold.
Now, someone said, "You're corporate, maybe. You're a suspect."
Yeah.
So now, what we can do? You think that the suspects can help us find the people behind it?
Oh yes, they should be. They should be able to.
And why do you think that information is not out yet?
Well, as I said, it's still unfolding. That's why I'm just relaxing.
But what should be there 1 week or so ni? Then into me. This issue of state national interest.
Nipa no enya say e da ho no kofa e otofri obi ho.
What I said.
Who did you buy it from?
Because you need to also exonerate yourself.
Of course.
Instead nipa no as I don't mention say
for exonerating of themselves they can't do it because buying a stolen goods is also
but
just
tantamount
to use stealing
to help your case when you go to court. At least
you can cooperate for a reduced sentence.
What I say? As at now, we've not heard any name, but they say actually among from ECG. By this time, we should be telling us, Charlie, Nimpa,
there was an entire board.
Now, do you think that Nipa 1,300 containers no?
1,352.
Yebehunu.
Nina.
Yebehunu. Because
if there are serial numbers on each and every,
baby a coin, but as to say containers is a different issue because one of the factories was melting them.
Yeah.
So how do we find these containers? And how do we even make up for the loss? One more, I bet you almost should they pay for them or
yes,
because
they should.
This is beyond just taking you to jail.
Ghana, when was the last time that you saw that should be for corruption related issue? You reagist coming back. You tell me.
Because
when since Rollins time, ABC current Mahama. Ya chairman for that. Ya chairman. Ya kona nam kota. You to me know we could them by 2 months. Akufado amani wanche Capital Bank guy Angelino. Akufado be fisu we.
No, I think they came out to the bank that
the bank say
omanya man
scanning and say echo. You see, that is our issue. If the court finds you guilty of the crime leveled against you, what's the sentence all about? Give us back our money. That's the most important thing that we need.
And even interest, it shouldn't be just giving us back the money.
So when you can
as well.
You could see
what about home basing? What about home basing? You
say you pay expansion of secondary school for we. They say scanning fee I
have even suggested this thing that there should be, what do you call it? The oral account. Where all routes recovered should be there, and we should do a monumental project with it.
You see, Charlie, look at
Tisenka a free Pokuya kwa masama na kind of oral route. Yeah, this is kind of
look at Otun for project or your confirmation. Every person that donated, Wall of Fame, everyone's name is on it, and on my specified words. Just to make sure that say assume see or contribute. So some of these things it encourages people to even come out
and
do certain things or fish out those that they know that Charlie Akwawi Ghana or the Sika or the sub Ghana is Charlie Mongo because Amambi.
So moving on from that, what do you think about the gold board?
Good board.
Yes.
Sami Jenfis good board.
It is Ghana's good board. It is Ghana's good board.
Sami Jenfis good board. Before we come to good board, let me say this. It's kicked me. There's a trend that has started on the coastal line between Salt Pond and Cape Coast.
Okay.
And this is within the Infantiman constituency. And I'm speaking directly to the MP.
Because you are from there?
Prince Ahin. People have started mining gold on the shores of the beaches between Salt Pond and Cape Coast. On
the shores?
They sent me pictures. Yes, Miangasa in September, we went to Eja. I saw someone doing some sort of galamsey activity there. The MP for Infantiman, the report that we were gathering that or the investors be for air kasa say they want to mine gold. Do you know that? So when you say Elmina Beach, is well endowed with gold. But the chiefs of Elmina never allowed anyone to mine it. The earliest Europeans by Portuguese, so they found gold there. But as at now, chiefs no that permit say obia emetachi beach no. So enone can amount for dream say along that stretch no gold deposits and people have started. I have the video here. People have started doing that activity. Yes, Yanka this is a serious issue. That the youth they've started agitating.
They're sure on the
that I'm penny. Because mo to in room day na to river bodies na somebody buy empoano they actually so the honorable MP Prince Ahim, whoever your investors are, you I beg carry them go somewhere. No be their coastal line.
Honestly speaking,
because me I know that between Mankesim to Tardin and Sasene Ohono, lithium, they found lithium, huge deposit of lithium. Remember Papa Masa se cry, Papa Muse, the people approached them, but they didn't agree because of the way I got saying Yamana Kono. And it's not just lithium, the soil now, the ceramics, huge deposits along that stretch, clay. There are so many minerals within that stretch from Mankesim to towards Tardin, both Eponone assassin and Kasa. So if care is not taken, no. And where 2 days ago, I say Upper East, 7 districts have found gold deposit. So then kwani yeji o my way mu. Then yeji o my mu. You need brace kakoko.
It is just a ploy to destroy our lands and make it inhabitable for us. Do you think that US a gold deposit in there? Do you think that China been here?
South Africa was the leading gold in the world. But on to say, even though a cost, but they know
structured.
What I say, but you see Ghana, they're free for all. Everyone is doing it. So yes, the gold board is good to regularize all this thing. But you see, politicians are politicians.
That's the fear.
Last Wednesday, someone from Parliament told me that there was some. It never be a custom. Ton concessions amount for. That started say amount for guarantee, amount for concessions. So the politicians have a way of doing things to the Ghanaians. But behind it, not in some custom. It's serious. It's me. The gold board. The only good thing I see about it is how to regulate the way the inflows and outflow of gold in the country, because I said Ghana the way I go the free of my obia to me gold not the call. And gold is a big saying source of gold. Your friend is saying and it's a tender. It's a legal tender. That is why we have gold deposits somewhere. And you're falling on. So we need a system to regularize it and even monitor the gold that goes out of the country, so that we know that X amount of gold left Ghana within this week or within this month, and this is the revenue. Because at the end of the day, we check here. Your big gold mines now, the revenue that Ghana is getting is below 10%. The royalty that we are getting from all this service is below 10%. 10% to go the 250. 18 and here I'm seeing now. Below 10% Ghana government in here. Even that 10% is crying, be small money. And one if we properly regularize it, then we can trace and make sure that one body, one agency, and it's providing the ins and outs of gold. At least we can be able to make sure that we are getting something more profitable for the nation. But then again, not the detriment to the citizen, the ordinary Ghanaian. You could say you could say forest. Now people are cutting down their cocoa farms.
Okay, so what is the difference between the gold board and the cocoa board?
Cocoa board.
Yes, cocoa board and gold board. Are they the same?
Really, then also the gold board they passed the bill just this Saturday. I've not taken time to read. Cocoa board, we know that cocoa board mostly cocoa board. Sometimes someone say, oh, yeah, you go and take syndicated loans and come and buy the cocoa and sell it. And
yes, to Modeka.
Yes, to not the Modeka.
Do you know why I asked you this question?
No.
I asked this question because of the point you're making. Because we already have a cocoa board that does the pictures of cocoa
and sells it on behalf of it.
Sells it. But yes, still,
boka.
How sure are we say a good board will be with boka?
Tell make us say politician always be you see the framers of the 1992 constitution, you know. Because they were mostly politicians, you know. They framed the constitution in a way to favor themselves. Everything that we do, because I don't know this gold board, call parliament, call the committee on medicine, they will make sure that anything that clause will favor whoever it will favor whoever is in charge of it, the people that are manning it. But the rest of the country, you know, how are we even benefiting? You see, you're going for fair film, but who's a chance some about my way, you know. You can't say and say you, but like the way you said, cocoa board issues. Even cocoa farmers, so say the very people that produce cocoa, their kids are not even enjoying the scholarship. Politicians, money. What's here somewhere?
Now, put a brilliant and needy.
What sort of life is this?
Now, put a brilliant and needy. I don't have a brilliant and needy.
What's wrong?
Apostle could you suffer back? A brilliant and needy. Enjoy a get fund scholarship.
Oh, now I'm saying you call vet, no more vet. You want to take a month for justice. You see, they all enjoy these things. But meanwhile, your grandparents, your parents, none of them was even in that sector. Even the lives of cocoa farmers. See their lives.
If you look at, I think 2016, they set up a pension fund for cocoa farmers. They dedicated, I think, 2 billion or 20 billion as seed capital. Up to today, when they implement it.
And I tell you that anything that will benefit the ordinary Ghanaian, the politician won't do. Saturday, cocoa gold board as at 3:10 a.m. and I'm pass a bill.
Almost parliament pass it bill.
Certain minority walked out. Yeah. They didn't want to take part of the passing. They walked out. 9 a.m. they reconvey and came to pass district assembly common fund and it gets fund allocation.
I know they want to say minority.
And because each MP will benefit from it. And look at the allocation they did. They were giving 200,000 to build projects and almost the same amount of money to supervise the project. Who does that?
Like how?
What sort of people are we?
Monetary spirit.
You see our politician. Ebasano, Afrenyo on Kasai. Arega is not opposed. No one is talking about it because that is when they all benefit.
You see, that issue has not even made it to
the news
as a major news.
No, we are not talking about it. No one.
You see,
one amplify.
Because we are benefiting.
You see, I think that Parliament as an institution should have a dedicated TV channel. Yes. Yeah. Because Nipa send a pressure on Facebook Live.
Data some quiet thing.
So if they have dedicated TV channel, people who cannot afford data will just tune in their TV
and even cut some of these portions bit and be playing day in day out. Because actually say Moko Cheska no. Ahwandin mo sorry am.
Mo da 3
No one has said anything. Some of them are recess. Scanner no mo
monitoring spirit.
You see, so the politician never thinks about the ordinary Ghanaian. They never. They will just do some shenanigans. We are fighting for the good people.
And that's why I really have no faith in. And people think I'm just hating on NDC. I'm not hating on NDC. But they are not doing anything about Galamsey. Whatever they are doing, shenanigans. They are not doing anything.
Charlie, Galamsey issue no there. So now where it has gotten to a military regime sort of system.
Shoot to kill approach.
Yes, a Rawlings kind of system. You meet him on the papa.
That's all.
You are
Now
dead.
you just say within the next 1 month, you
kill as many as you can. What's like? Yeah, kill a man for. So they will kill us.
Okay, you see,
They are killing us already.
I have a problem with the shoot to kill approach.
Why?
I don't know if it is my
morality.
No,
see,
no. My love for the law.
No. Forget about law.
No, you see, I'm coming.
You see, yes.
Let me get a classical example. You see, and you be all Galamsey site and Galamsey.
Yes.
I'm coming.
Agreed.
There are people who go there to sell. To say be our you or the food use near there. A business maybe. So we'll say you got to be a Galamsey site. You money to
Until one hour, I'm more saying so. Men could be
make
prison. One more time, no prison. Oko police station here. I'm on phone.
We cry on
exactly. So say Oko drew Galamsey site. Na Galamsey is new to me, Johnny. Na ka obi a okoton nsu a sebe na oni ahode nti na wonye Galamsey ni bi. You get it? Na wantimi antumi ka na obon to kuna. Don't you think say you what the wrong person and I say you were not fair or giving a fair hearing to Nipana? Let me know Galamsey side.
Thank you. We can give some sort of exception to that. Say you won't say obuton ade around Galamsey site.
Na say hoye gidi. Ade na ntimi.
But when you say a bit me could do baby, the very people involved in Galamsey, knowing that there is exception for people that sell around Galamsey site, omu say baby omu na be beton ade.
And some people but
and nothing I was say you got two of Galamsey side. Yen chu omu nyina. Na investigation, na clear one.
See,
they are not complicit in the Galamsey.
Hey, let me tell you something.
It's not something that we haven't tried yet.
Akufado's era. When you say Akufado instituted like 3 different operations.
Vanguard, Galam Stop, and
Operation Hot.
Yeah,
Hot.
And this was the method. This was the method.
With army.
So with in regards to what the scenario you just gave, it's a simple instruction. Say see I na Galamsey for no e will shoot to kill approach. Men ko hon ko ton ade ma wo. However they survive there, it's up to them. Because ye ba na release it to a ye misa say wo ton ade ana wo ye dey.
To add to that, Yama bear 1 month ultimatum say from May 1st going. Your back Galamsey site a shoot to kill. So we are giving this ultimatum. Everyone that you know that you are not involved in Galamsey, Okoton, pure Okoton, don't go there. Because you do know who you be na ya bo bia mane. First May, you do know Oton asana you be because you kun the next person Ton pure water. This issue the last time I was listening to Sadiq Adams, there are terrorists infiltrating our system because of Galamsey. And you see, say an echo and a Boko Haram near rim, Jadis a rim. The president and so on number own security guard and also number or life. Our system is porous. Just last week, Ghanaian ship was seized. Pirates.
SCZ.
A Ghanaian ship. Ghanaian water. A kidnapping navy for Nibiu. So look at the things that are happening in just some short space of time. Because our system security looks porous. Everybody feels that me room. Already in Ghana, yetna hano. You have Togolese, any Beninoas, and ABC a diamond or my way.
No, my tiles.
I'm more your tiles because someone was on fair, almost then room. Nigeria 5G mobile phone operation COSO. It's a common raspberry pass dealing. It's a Galamsey site, the foreigners a room. Terrorists at the Muzube gym, and they are holding sophisticated weapons, which some of our police officers call Nibi. So Yang call for a state of emergency on this issue, so that the army sometimes almost also questions because I remember election which about we say army be a confirmed by the show army for normal bechi girls hotel only girls neither abra collation center akwesi ho
enjoy it.
What sort of life is this? What sort of life is this? So you see, we need to be very hard on this Galamsey issue. We need to go hard, go extra hard, because if we leave it like that, now say the blue marine for being massa. They should go.
I mean,
they should go and man aqua safari. We joke for this country.
We have instances where journalists are approaching these people to even speak to them, and they beat the journalists. They beat them. So if they are not going soft on us, how do we go soft on them?
Look, the same thing when this Fulani issue started. Fulani for the name change we are found place near Asanchachim. The same thing happening to Galamsey. If we care is not taken.
But my fear of this your suggestion of shoot to kill policy is the innocence that the casualties
need to sacrifice. In this world, me feel it.
It's true.
In
Canada, if we don't
you need to sacrifice some of your best
drastic
to get what you want to do.
If we don't take these drastic measures, and see,
we need to kill people.
That's why you see how Papa put it. We give an issuance from 1st May. Memo bia enko site enko ton ade magalam safe because ye ba wa issue to kill approach.
No bi so on time ba wo twem ho akonafu.
Wo twem akonafu. Site na say dote manyamanya no fa wa ko.
Afu no wo na chi be fa.
No tio say yambom nkaye yamman national announcement GTV man GhanaTalks radio man TV3 everyone is announcing it that from 1st May for 1 month just serious announcement that from this particular starting from this day, you who Galamsey site you kuma you we are we gave you prior notice.
We gave it. Government gave.
We've told you that notice. From henceforth, starting from this day, will kill you. So what are you going to do there?
Do you think the NDC's approach to the fight for Galamsey smacks of hypocrisy?
Yes. Very much. Yes. NDC is not doing anything about Galamsey. NDC has not started doing anything about Galamsey now.
It's hypocrisy what are they doing? And lies.
What are we doing? As at now, by this time, I say the hot mining.
Yeah.
I was expecting saying NDC buyer. They will say let's hot mining like the way Akufo-Addo did. Hot it for some time. Let's all come back to the table and talk about it. Because as we speak, I hear some quarters of NDC people pushing small scale mining, and that's small scale mining and
Afenyo Makin did a press conference saying that small scale mining and one Galamsey, but he didn't have that same view when his MPP was
because you know that you see MPP stopped this Galamsey thing because of the 2020 election results because when they went hard on Galamseyers, they lost every constituency
that is not true.
But
it's not true. That is a propaganda.
See, no matter how much I hate the NDC for their fight against Galamsey, that thing is never true. It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
You see, let's look at the let's look at the mining constituencies.
Yeah.
Tell me which one of them the MPP Lucy in 2020.
Mining constituency. The major ones. Wasa. Wasa Ukropon. Dunkwan Ofen. There were him. Eastern Fon Fuma. Eastern
because when
I think but the central and western region now, but do you know that in Ghana,
but when him said
Galamsey no cost pay that 2 pay.
Takwan Suaim they still won.
Takwan Suaim so no Gangalia. Ono no chief Galamsey ya. Ono akwa no
afi no ma Luciana meboa. They lost it.
I feel
they
lost
it in 2024.
I feel we lose.
That's so that analysis that I don't that analysis
allegedly.
I'm gonna So if you look at the major Galamsey areas, NPP still won all those seats.
Oh, I said Kropon, they lost. Dunkwan, they lost. Edubiase, they are losing.
Edubiase, new Edubiase.
They are losing.
It has never been NPP seats.
No,
but
they won
2016 coming to 2020.
Exactly.
And then in 2020, NDC came back and took their
seats.
So you cannot say because of Galamsey, you will lose here. But the 53 constituencies are Galamsey prone constituency. NPP still won
some of them.
Most of them.
Some of them.
Almost the majority. Me who say it was just they got tired of the fight and they stopped. But where my bone of contention is with the NDC is that we modi a campaign. You get it. So you even chastise the government then that they needed to declare a state of emergency on Galamsey and all that. So why are you not doing it?
To be frank, I was just
why do you think NDC is not able to do what they were campaigning with?
I was expecting like in the first week that His Excellency would have said, "Oh, let's halt it." You see, halting it doesn't mean that we are stopping, because let's halt. Let's all come to the drawing table. Let's discuss. Then finding ways of going around this thing. When I followed the 2024 election, there was this suggestion from my independence candidate. He was suggesting that the issue of Galamsey, because when you go to the Galamsey site and you ask the people that Munjai Galamsey, say, if you can give me a job that can pay me this X amount of money, I will stop. I'm willing to stop. And he was like, okay, fine. Hydrocarbon. Harvesting oxygen to sell is a big business now. So he was proposing that when he giving the nod, he would have done hydrocarbon, turn all the Galamsey sites into forest zone. We'll plant trees, then we'll harvest the oxygen, then we'll sell. When we engage the youth in that area and tell them that when we do that, hydrocarbon, we'll harvest hydrocarbon, we'll sell it. It gives you much more than even Galamsey. And now, per se, you find industrial hemp and sell it to pharmaceutical industry, because already legalizing the friends saying cultivation of industrial hemp, and which will even give us bigger money than doing the Galamsey. If we can sit most of the youth down and let them know the alternative to Galamsey, that there is bigger money to be gained from these two things, hydrocarbon and herb cultivation. At least people reason to stop these things.
Okay, I get your point. But do you think that we should, as a matter of urgency, tax the Gold Board to have these kind of ideas as their corporate social responsibilities?
I mean, that is why I have a problem with this our winner takes all thing. Me president, I would have called all the presidential candidates, sit them down, and let everyone tell me that key policy that's in Kayamano we are in Kobe. Then let's all sit down and try and implement those policies. Because sebi oko cheddar policy be say the ahon shake
you didn't show you the probeko kuma say.
You see, when you bring when you bring people on board, let people bring ideas. I'm not sure someone has even thought about this hydrocarbon thing. Even the herb cultivation, I'm pass it on. Paying for an license among themselves to cultivate.
You don't have the money to take their license.
What is it?
The license is very expensive.
It's very expensive in paying for a better license. No? But meanwhile, you could have used that avenue to bait this galamseyers. Say, oh Charlie, new gold mining new. Weed cultivation. Are they
galamsey for you. Almost sorry, I read the normal.
This is a very brilliant idea. But do you know the challenge with this? The youth in those areas are not even the ones doing the mining.
We are bringing Togolese, Beninese to come and build our estates for us.
That's why
and we are bringing
we can't
people
go soft on this fight. Because easy to convince them with this thing. Ono no hia ne sika no still nti say before forever me sika no na me njai we ya that crebe to mekumi a obejai na we follow this idea of
hydrocarbon. But me say I've gone to read it. Tell it not be small business o.
Togo ni na urban. Sabro fi onte. Ne de ne say ye ma wo this amount. Na wa be ye adwuma we ama. Massa.
Something on you kumbe hundreds of them are. They are sending signal man Yasimbe say tell your people if they can we'll kill them. No ECOWAS protocol. We are killing people. We are killing people in our country. We are safeguarding our rivers. We are safeguarding our forest. Now the same say some of the petition being say we should sign petition B.
Petition share this LI 24 something banning the president on issuing license in forest reserve mining. One said that's what I want to say.
We make sure say on mine
problem there on the day. Didn't you know Mumpasi?
Say MB before they say mon trainer or mon course or test and review whatever. Metia says that. But at the end gold board in the more than number say passe. Now we the moon for number some passe.
Is the hold up for that from the majority or the minority?
From the minority. But then the majority not here say. Which I don't get. Gold board I'm working out.
That thing majority none propose you. Even if the president who said
he doesn't want that power.
The president said he doesn't want that power.
And a minority in parliament say they should wait, go to the drawing board, make a review on that decision and come back.
Or there are clauses in there they want to look at it.
Probably.
Because when the politician tells you that let's go and review something, that means there are some clauses in somewhere that doesn't favor them.
Yes.
Oh, seriously. Anytime the politician tells you that they are going to review something, it means that there are some challenges or clauses somewhere that doesn't favor them.
Okay. And so if that's the case, every gold board need more work out no. More na him na chin e pass.
Tell me the clauses in their favor. What are you talking about?
NDC is not doing anything about it. I think they are
just
playing with
our minds. My was that, let's halt it. I'm not saying let's halt it. President's issue, let's halt Galamsey. Let's all meet Accra International Conference Center. Let's deliberate and see the best ways for us to, tackle this issue. If the week as a young cocoon, okay, young cocoon, because those times, those small scale miners and inside community miners, they were saying that they were helping the army, they were leading the army to Galamsey side to chase them. But more small scale miners, they were rather also because now they've seen that Charlie, I think I will the concession you come on for joining.
Yeah, sure.
And some people were even doing Anglo Ashanti. They were entering into Anglo Ashanti concession.
Yeah. I didn't talk about
So back to the good board. What for the next 1 minute? What do you think the challenges good board will be addressing? What are the challenges good board will be addressing?
Good board is basically addressing. I see the fundamental line for this good board is just to make sure that we get that
deserving revenue,
maximum
that revenue,
yes,
that we can also use to stabilize our currency. It seems that is the whole idea for this gold board, because you pay way of stabilizing the city, and we've seen that gold as a legal tender. No, say you might need a structure in how the inflows and outflows of gold in our country. It means we have absolute control on it, we can use those that thing to stabilize our city. So I think that's the fundamental thing about this gold board. But they should go beyond that and look at the issues surrounding mining itself.
Yeah.
Where are they even getting the gold? Because bear in mind, if regulatory system, I'm going to be the ultimate buyer of gold. That means I need a lot of people to be mining to make sure that I get a lot of gold. And in so doing, Charlie, concessions they be signing by heart.
Exactly.
You see how it is. As of now, they are repealing or they are revoking some concessions. But anyone wants that they're revoking, they will be selling to themselves. So now you're buy. So until you should shoot to kill, they also you.
Okay. If you are going to do the shoot to kill, then let me remind you that we are still live on Ghana Talks Radio, and then you can join us on our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and everywhere. On X, we are there. Even on your current, we are going to be there too. So you can join us anywhere that you want to join us. And then moving on to our next topic, the Chief Justice removal. What do you think the problem is? Parkwasi, madam.
Well, before I touch on the Chief Justice issue, I want to also add a little to the gold board thing, some of the challenges, because we've realized that the biggest challenge which the campaigning of the establishment of the gold board has really been about is how gold are being smuggled outside, sold without the country itself making much more out of it. So they are going to regulate it and stop all this smuggling and stuff. One thing we are forgetting is that most of the gold being smuggled are from the entities of the Galamseyers.
Yes.
And now, if we are going to regulate it for us to only sell as a gold board, they've also projected an amount of revenue that they think in a week they are going to make about 250 million, because from what they've gathered through the smuggling of gold, which is coming from the Galamsey, that's the amount of money they can actually make in a week. If we are shutting Galamsey down, how are we going to make that money as a gold board?
So you think the gold board is going to enhance Galamsey?
So it goes back to what Papa is saying. If they are revoking it, they are going to sell to other people because they still need to meet that target.
The same thing that happened to E11. E11, you see the first projection that they made, over 2 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes.
They were 600 million yen. Then they started adjusting it, bringing it down. I tell you that the politician always does something that favors him alone. They don't think about the ordinary Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we are doing. We have a projection based on the accumulative of every person involved in mining of gold in Ghana. Then what project say you want to get X amount of money.
Yeah.
Now you want to halt or you are revoking licenses of people who are
going to aid you
to meet that target.
So if you revoke that license, that means that target you are not meeting it. It clearly tells you that license that you revoked, you are going to give it to another person to make sure that Nimpa no go to more.
Now when you
target.
So is it why they are beginning this campaign of they have a term they are giving to it, responsible mining or something? What is that?
My catch was say, oh my with my head.
What's responsible
if
mining?
The politician gives you some slogan, some tagline, the politician tells you that he's going to review something, he's only going to review to his benefit. Responsible mining, yes, I go for those era. Responsible mining was there, and then you're saying now community mining, small scale, they are doing responsible mining, but it ended up that we were part of Galamsey. It's like Galamsey because you 2 amount for fish. Galamsey.
Okay.
We should kill him.
I understand, but how does it give me your views on the Chief Justice?
Chief Justice.
No, or my
yeah. So it's I think that as a Chief Justice, you are serving the country. The people who have petitioned the president to remove you are people of the country. They've seen your service, and to them, probably, they think it's not serving well to the country.
That's a kind of sound so the anchor. They be anchor Chief Justice for forever. And it's
that is why there is a body to review that petition. If it makes sense, it goes through, fine. But if it doesn't make sense, we can't forcefully remove it. We are acting based on their petitions,
but
not
do you
by
think their
somebody's.
petition makes sense?
Now, do you have
Maybe he has seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so if you have not seen it, you tell us I have not seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, but there are snippets. Do you think the Chief Justice, per her review, the review of her occupation of that office, has really done her job properly? That she can stand the test of any review that comes to her removal? Sorry, you see the way she conducts herself and the way she has handled the office.
There have been some arguments around here that there were cases that she's left to bear for over 2 years, and there were cases that she sat to attend to even on days that they don't even normally do these things, and it calls for a bias in her service. People think her fairness hasn't really matched the service required of her, which is why they are seeking her removal.
But what do you think? I keep hearing you say people.
I
what do you think?
I think that the Council of State is well endowed with the much needed wisdom and review of whatever people are saying to give the right verdict of advice to the president to decide on what to do with this petition.
Okay. How was the manager?
This Chief Justice issue is no issue. It's just because we want someone out of the way so that we can make sure that subsequent agendas are achieved. Because if she's there,
what are some of those subsequent agendas?
Jane Mensah will go right after Chief Justice. The next target is Jane Mensah.
Okay.
Everyone will go. So if someone will be hindrance, we need to clear that person. I've asked myself, and I wanted to even find out what is that thing that the Chief Justice has done that mount to people to petition for a removal. I mean, I don't know. We are all not privy to what the petitions are.
Is about.
But even in Akufo-Addo's time, the Chief Justice was petitioned to be removed, and he sent it to the Council of State, and
he didn't even take it to the
Council.
Yes, he said the language at which
the petition was.
He didn't like the language. It was disrespectful.
So brush it aside.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Is it the Council of State? Council of State, the president appoints about 11 or so of them.
They are the majority.
Yeah, the president's appointees are the majority. Then we elect 16 regional executive. Then ex-Chief Justice, ex-Chief of Defense Staff,
do you know that Ashanti region doesn't still have a
Council of State?
Do you know why?
And
do you know why?
Because of the election.
Yeah.
Do you know why the person that person wasn't elected?
Okay, why?
Do you know why?
No, I didn't.
Do you know the man himself?
No, I don't.
He's a Baumia ally.
Okay, fine. So I'm
coming to make a point that even the 16 people.
No, that is why I'm coming to. Even the 16 regional chief whatever the Council of State members, they are all politically affiliated.
Yes.
So the Council of State itself is a political machine. That is why some people are calling for that Council of State to be
abolished.
Okay. It doesn't make sense. They are just spending. They are wasting our money. They are wasting resources.
Council of State. Chief Justice.
Certain constitution review needs to come in. You see, there's so much that we need to do with that 1992. The 1992 Constitution has outlived its purpose. We've grown past the Constitution. There are so many things that we need to change. So many powers that we need to take from the presidency, like appointment of IGP, appointment of this. Let the security people, let the service, let the institution, grow or promote their people. Because remember, police service one, and I probably just say I don't dream big, but my ultimate is to lead the police service. So Ejuma is geared towards becoming the leader of the police service, and that should be something in the situation. Police service stand or someone here start promotional thing now to say, wow, we deservedly you get there. It's not the president. So we need to review the constitution so that we take most of these appointing authorities out from the executive, because the executive may appoint you. That means the executive is controlling everything. And yes, because of how our system is, executive kind of democracy, you need that the president to have oversight of everything, because one day your chinebi na obi akosho obi echi na gregan na yakojina GBC na announce see you.
Do you know that when the president referred the petition to what do you call it, the Council of State, a certain group of people went to court. That the Chief Justice
needs to be served.
Yes. Now that the Chief Justice had been served, what happens to those petitions in court?
I said now they should go and take it out. So withdraw their case, because because the ultimate what we were seeking for has been done.
Yes. So,
and you see, the president was acting based on precedents.
Yes.
The processes to which Charlotte Osei was removed is the same thing the current president is trying to follow.
Yeah. Because Charlotte Osei can't petition.
Auntie Charlotte baby, man petition.
Okay, there's one Chief Justice on court.
Man petition. Auntie and say Charlie.
You would.
You possessive. Into expect your removal. She wasn't petition. She didn't even know
what
based on what
they were accusing her.
Exactly. Into the same thing president or person on your Chief Justice, because say then because there's a precedent. You know, in law sometimes it's based on precedent.
Yes.
Some of these things are based on precedent. Say I can follow suit and do the same thing. Because they see and will be
based on the Supreme Court, most of the Supreme Court judges judgments are based on precedent.
Precedents, yes. And see the same thing I follow now. Chief Justice also here fast. Hey, massa, won't serve me. The law of natural justice serve me. Let me know my wrong. Let me put a defense to it. But also I pray where near the EBU. I didn't know where the EBU. But you see,
she's already gone.
But you see, that is a big worry to our democracy. Kufuor appointed her ladyship Georgina Woods.
Yes,
Georgina Woods.
I made that.
Georgina Woods sworn in Prof. Mills, sworn in John Mahama, sworn in Akufo-Addo. Georgina Woods sworn in 3 presidents before Akufo-Addo took the mantle or called retirement. No one had the problem with her. Back to back. She was appointed by Kufuor. People were saying that the Kufuor MPP but Oyejuma no NDC 2 NDC presidents every day MPP ni by and called retirement. And Akufo-Addo be appointed. So for Akufo-Addo has appointed 3 chief justices.
Yes, so for
Kufu when
Bema Papa Bina Obi accusing is $5 million.
And sana we her ladyship talk on she has the same name of my BBT.
Gertrude.
If you Saba. You need to know Wesley girls. I don't think vice president on Kabi man because they are all gay girls. Gay girls somewhere
on coming
no coming money. Some gay girls. Therefore they protect themselves.
Yeah, Kabi Mobia. You know, say the vice president now could have been vice president in 2020. I think on also between Kabi man at time assignment of Supreme Court.
Supreme Court finds someone they don't have case because among someone to be in
labor. On one can be a man. Supreme Court.
No. There's some court. Now evidence.
It could have been 6-1. Think it with me at 6-1. No need to come.
And your book say, Massa, I somehow Coco case on the above we caught. Gay girl. Vice President, we a gay girl.
In the other one,
Supreme Court, we friends say, hello, this is a gay girl. In fact, we have like 3 gay girls or over the top of our way. Because CJ is the 4th in command.
Yes.
You see, our president took one, vice took one, speaker took one. CJ extra minus 4th in command. No joke, number 4. That is we gay girls. Gay, they are my people.
You see, that's I think that's one too is problematic. So, do you think that the president can sleep, knowing very well that the opponent in appointed the fourth person in command?
No, that is why I'm saying that Kufuor appointed her ladyship Georgina Woods. Lady Georgina Woods sworn in Mills, sworn in Mahama. We went to court. Georgina Woods the next na
but for Georgina Woods, I think that she excused herself.
So appointed,
but because say one day Mahama called Asari or the same church, so it can be a conflict of interest. So or do you think this Chief Justice will ever do that?
I don't know. You know where. But what I'm saying is that Georgina Woods, when she was appointed, people accused her that she was an MPP ally because Kufuor appointed her. But this woman went on to swear in Mills, swear in Mahama. You call court. I don't know CJ at the time. You call court. It demand NDC. Some swear in Akufo-Addo. So why don't you allow the thing to flow? Probably Nipa now or your worst enemy no might turn out to be your best ally.
But you can also make that same case for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte said they declare
Akufo-Addo.
So why was she removed?
Let me tell you, that was one of the most useless decisions that Akufo-Addo took.
Akufo-Addo is known for those decisions. So I want to be too Afoko ne
seriously. Said them procurement breaches. That was under a head. We are now I say football no. It's a blaster so to ado. A jugua to ado. And it's a blaster say Mahama by Papa ban say Mahama. A jugu ne kan o make say to ado. That was one of the most useless decisions Akufo-Addo took.
But it has become a precedent.
So that is actually where the main
issue is. So and that doesn't help democracy. Afarajan was appointed by Rawlings.
Yeah.
Afarajan supervised Kufuor, made sure that supervised 2000 election. Kufuor came, 2004, Kufuor won, 2008. The biggest election we've ever had under this 2008 election. The biggest
election.
That's
the biggest election.
Yeah, have you 2008 election? They called 3rd round. What I say, Afarajan stood on his knees and made sure that power changed hand again. Did free and fair election, whether you like it or not, free and fair.
Yeah.
Because Obi and Court will be Eba 2012.
Now say court no court now over 10 years still is free and fair.
And
unless the court over 10, so that is
ruling.
Yeah.
So Nimpa na will say on no one yard no. Was supervised election we winning. Why do you change the person? On what grounds? Nimpa na also on your baby I know. Or election, your biggest victory. Nimpa na supervised
close to over 1 million votes.
Oh, it's a sanage then. Okay, sometimes they say you can't rig unregable margin. Over 1 million, the way they want to come. We can election be a you could try 25 good man. Yeah, they are new from our team. Who took
Gum Grana?
71. What the 25 boom crank? School politics. They took most calling coding. It is beyond regable margin. So I had a problem with Akufo-Addo, removing Charlotte Osei. Charlotte is a fantastic woman. It's on Lady Fanti Confederation or Lady fantastic woman. Also the new Baba Mawai. Charlotte baby. Oh, and then one family. So is my mama by? I say my former EC who was President Mama made some comments, passed some comments when she was being sworn in
as constitutional
review
member.
Also, I have my former EC who was wrongfully. He made some comments. Wow. You see, so that was that decision, and as you say, leading into this. So CJ will go, Jane baby will go.
Mosha, the bus stops with.
Me say, easy home. Everybody
appointed all the
in the last 8
all the chairpersons they be
including Apia Hene.
No, you people have set a precedent, so they will just follow suit until somebody comes and puts a stop to that.
Like Atamas came and then decided
stabilize
the man. Your friend is saying, Kofoye and one year the same thing.
What you say? So when you put a stop to that, you be we about baby G. Nimpa ne time nso ya kra IGP na ne time nso yi onkore yi ni nka dampare me am dampare PR police officer social media we IGP we ji na jeda
na ai bomi hwe papa ya odi birthday enseme tutu what is going on with him?
Vivian is under control.
Yeah, I think so. I think whatever is coming out is just to sell him more.
Everything is.
He just control. Wants to be in the news.
Me that GRA thing, I know that on non-national blog is to push that agenda.
To push that. There's nothing concrete in all these things.
Because on your birthday now, one can invite the power of darkness and principality. You know that person?
No.
Oh, you don't know power of darkness and principality?
No.
Also,
yeah, I do.
As you've been praying against principality, now you don't know the person.
I don't know. Me this.
You are praying against principality. Me
this.
So Niyama came on Sunday, right after that. Someone invited him on Sunday. But J headlines in our fire. So they also knew. What
did Niyama do to take away the headline?
Wally baby. Wally, Shadawali.
Shadawali.
Obano live kekeno. Everyone was talking about it. We all stopped talking about the birthday thing because every attention has jumped to.
Me this no.
Yeah, birthday in Saturday, you know. I reached in Sunday and also Beba live because there were allegations say because of despite internet, you're inviting them. Anyway, so many things. No, so I said they couldn't meet his demand, so he wanted to clear. But what we knew that I say on the attention seeker, I didn't call by without he having a say in it.
Himself.
And all the J Airways. So between Sunday and Monday, principality was dominating. And I question no. At the birthday, my says kind of my I can't let principality take over the airways just like that and spoil the whole mood. So they need to do some PR thing. And me in this thing was all about PR.
Yeah.
Make sure that you see. Subsequently, he went to Chief Imam to donate.
Yeah.
Make sure that they sustain the PR. Because I didn't woo all of a sudden, all the glamour coming and just within 1 week, a week just like that. No, it can't go.
Do you think Niyama decided to just shut the whole thing?
Oh yes, Niyama the minimum. Niyama.
I didn't think that's half an enemy of progress.
Oh, yeah, enemy of progress. He's the power of darkness and principality. He's not enemy. He's not your enemy. He's the principality himself. He does things at his own time. Don't or say man just say man could tell and so or he will come for you.
He thinks that the country will be him.
No. Yesterday he met 2 days ago he met with his bosom brother.
The landlord
Kabute with the new hairstyle. So they are coming back again. Shatter sack.
That's all commando.
Yes, part 2 is coming. So new question was fun, but you see, what's now baby doing? Already there were allegations around you concerning Haja for real. When Haja for real was arrested, people
say
you are next because they were afraid that she might mention your name because you are affiliated to her. Haja for real record label is under
Yes.
Handle Aja for a record label. And he also owns Links Entertainment now.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he owns Links, and my boss, my former CEO, was a director of Links, and when they were selling Links to him, Richie didn't tell him, so they had to wait. Then he let go of his directorship. So Nikwe owns Links Entertainment now. So the entire setup was the production was by Links. Pizza Man, Begum, what, all those things. So there's that allegation of money laundering and all those kind of illegal things associated with his name, like his brands, some of his brands. So why would you want to open yourself up to the public in this way? Because in Ghana, the moment you open yourself up like this, then everybody starts coming for you. People start digging your stuff. What the whole now we're doing? The last time we were saying that the richest people in Ghana, they don't talk.
Yes.
You don't even know what they owe in this country.
In Ghana, yeah.
They are there. But you know, $10 million account.
But don't you think that he also did that so that he could say, you people think I'm a money launderer, you people think I'm a criminal, but I'm up in the public space and nobody has come for me?
Oh, so we don't just come for you just like that. And FBI and I say for someone they don't just come and raid you like the way national security is raiding people. They take their time. We were able to be investigating for like 10 years. Get all the relevant documents or reasons before they come to you. Hush Papi he was on FBI radar like for years.
So you think that he has opened himself up for these kind of agencies to come after him?
For people to start questioning some of the things. Because people have that notion that you are dealing, or some of the brands that you work with or you own. Just before the birthday, I saw a podcast. Some elderly man that was complaining about his paint. He said Dominion Paint. It was his company that he went to bills before then. What was the name? Quick Credit or something.
Quick Credit, yes.
Told him about his business plan, and he said he was going to support him financially and stuff. And before he realized, the guy has taken over his business.
This is GhanaTalks question.
He supported with the money and later took over or took the idea and implemented it.
He has taken everything, the idea, the business, everything. That's according to the man from the podcast that I watched. So if there are people like this, they'll start coming out. And you know, I've told you that this Ghana that we are, everyone has everyone's docket.
Yeah.
Until say what's a member public, you know, don't think say you need time on my man they'll bring that evidence to you.
And I also saw one thing about his marriage and stuff.
You see, people will dig you out. So when you say make sure that you are doing your things. Once a while, no be chumba could be. You see, I remember Chada we an election, I got the baby drain on home.
Went to me have up on uncle.
These are, you see, you don't have money past somebody else. I was a Springfield, the richest man in Ghana. Most people don't even know him. Most people even know him, but yeah, was all your way. Charlie, so people should just calm down. They should calm down.
Okay, so it is 2 minutes past the hour 10, and unfortunately, we have to draw the curtains down on.
So we'll be so married. Vice President Health.
Ready, Uncle. Breno continue my my 5 minutes. No fan can
5 minutes.
Okay, then my mouth 10. My mouth 10. Say DJ Betty as ya my 5 year. DJ say 5 year. Oh my 5 minutes can a vice president in the health issue.
I mean, 1 minute.
Here 1 minute. Okay.
Oh, but I think that Onipa health dear, we don't play politics with it. Whatever is going on, we just wish speedy recovery. But then it boils down to the fact that they should pay attention to our health system as a country. Even UGMC, we hail it as one of the most advanced. No, it couldn't even contain there.
No, UGMC is not fully operational.
Yes, so we still hail it. Since Ghana, you can't lead in a year.
Yes, but it is not fully operational.
But
it
we hail it.
Operating under 40% or close to 50%.
But we hail it. So, and this is not going just for it. I'm talking about the leadership of the country. We should pay attention to our health system. Because that crow. Time now will be here to survive your life, no. And do time I had will be Ghana. I could do Togo cra.
Na said Dako ne see that. 2012.
Yeah.
2012. Yes, yeah. Atamos.
Ina say so.
Amisa ata.
Yeah.
Bakui akoye wo kumasi. MP no. So no so na dey ko Germany.
So all these things should speak to them.
John Kuma.
On a weekend here, within 1 year.
Should speak to them. Say adiano someone year and kaura ha on show.
But you see, politicians they don't they don't think. Because more they are near politics. Na ebu abekamo. You see, as some we see, they've started taking out videos. Those videos. That we should enact a law that bans the entire
and
executive.
I think that will help. There was a way file system now.
Ghana high. My catch was
see one thing. Unim says
why?
The Constitution guarantees freedom to movement.
Okay.
Yes, that's okay. Obvious.
So that's law itself. Then it doesn't make it a non-starter. Wouldn't even can say because all politicians or
you see the problem.
Okay.
The two-sided politician. No. Nimpana no all champion are then in there no whole.
Why
the vice president and then the economy? Why do not know? You want to tell me that that's not Ghana ha. The entire nation Ghana. We don't have that state of the nation facility equipment. Doctors. If in Ghana, your doctors.
Even if it is not about the facility, we should have doctor.
Ghana will do open heart surgery for here. Kidney. What are you talking about?
In
Akoda Kolebuda. Open heart surgery. Kidney transplant. What? Then even twins who are born conjoined. They did it as far back as 1993, 1994. That was the first time. Open heart surgery on my room. We have the things. Don't Kolebu and look at Kolebu new neurology department. No, they are not just that. You see, that's one thing I hate about politicians. The person is the second most powerful person in Ghana. And Asamaba, tell us what it is.
Of course.
Say obibi yeah. Empire be the back of whom nations prophet one or Pambo, the local who know start so yen and yamana. Na catch you papa. But you see, you go and hide the thing. The same thing you did to Mills.
Yeah.
Was buy it.
Uncle
jogging. Ghana for one say, no, you push this man to go and jog on the tarmac. And you see, politicians, they should challenge. You do much here. You do who am I? So tell the people what it is. Let us know. This is our vice president. America, they don't joke with the first and second family of the land.
They even have a code name for them.
Obi awon code. Yeah, then I'm on you said the president and I'm a drive quarter. Charlie, this issue, we should be very careful about this president issue. State security
breach is a
president. How can you allow the whole president say on them? Oh, Charlie, we the joke for.
All right.
Donald Trump.
Say, Mahama Trump.
Donald Trump will go in family house crash. The entire place will be cordoned off.
Yes.
Now, what are you talking about?
unfortunately, this is what we are talking about, and we've come to the end of our program for today. And it is 8 minutes past the hour 10. We are going to make way for DJ to take over. And then we want to say thank you for all the listeners and then everybody who tuned in to us this morning. I'm the guest host for today. I think from Thursday I'll go back to my normal.
You come and sit in this.
I'll go back to my normal sitting place, and then you get the best of me. This is just I'm learning to be the host, but I'll go there and then expect more fireworks going forward from tomorrow. Thank you for being
before we close. Let me say a big shout out to Nana Oponkese, Ajwa Kambu MFA, watching us live in London. Upon also they are doing the sharing across our socials. Thanks for joining us, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. Ghana Talks Radio, we are bringing you lots of fantastic programming starting this month, so just stick and stay. Entertainment for you guys will all come into the studio for us to do all these things once a while. Yes, you have a politics now. But thanks for joining us on the holiday edition. Enjoy the rest of our program. DJ Rock takes over. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.